Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with Dribble Around, Andrew Velez, and John Tortorelli. And this is now episode 387. I was about to say Mr. Joe Dehls did, but Joe Dehls is on a trip to Florida. He's driving over there. It's a long drive from New Jersey to Florida. It's about 24 hours?
He's taking a flight. He's driving back.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Driving there is like 17. Yeah. I've done it a few times.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
My grandpa used to do it.
It's an all right drive, but obviously
I did it once.
17 is crazy.
We miss our brother Dehls. We got the guys, the four that are normally on for one episode. I think that was the first time we've had the four of us on in a month. And then now we have John, which obviously that's a great consolation prize. Oh my God. He wouldn't even let me finish.
Okay. You felt a type of way about that, John?
He's looked at no wait. He looked at you, got really excited, said, "Fuck me."
John, what do you want me to do to you?
Nuts,
Nothing
bro.
specific.
My God. That being said, we
that.
have John here. A great consolation prize. We're going to do our mock draft, the last mock draft, obviously, before the real draft, which is tomorrow, which is crazy to me.
We'll be on playback.
We are going to be on playback. That's going to be exciting. But the fact that NBA draft's already here, just everything flies by so quickly. But it is funny how we finally got the four of us back, and then Dell's just like, Florida.
Peace.
I'm going to catch you when I catch you. And then you're going to D.C. soon.
Yeah, but I'll be back. I'll be back for studio vibes.
Uh-huh.
You're going Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
Okay. That's our next episode, most likely.
Yeah.
So then Friday, we're not going to have you again. So it's probably going to be...
This Friday or next Friday?
This Friday. It's this Friday.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be Drew, John, me, and then Dehls.
Big time.
I'm going to
Friday,
DC
I
this
think.
weekend.
Wait, actually, no. Dehls won't be here Friday
He
either.
won't be here Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might just be Bleacher Report this weekend.
Okay. So it might be Drew, John, and I.
Oh, God bless you guys.
And then today on the show, too, we're going to do the mock draft. And then JC, who's been on the show before, you guys know JC, he's going to be on for the portion after the mock draft because he doesn't know about the draft. And I don't blame him. You know, talking about this year's draft is a chore.
It's not
I get
sure.
it. After the lottery, let me not say that. After like pick 20, it's a chore. But I think that there is let me take that back. Pick 25, because I really like the Knicks double pick. After that, that's really where it's just like, I don't really, it becomes a tall task. That being said, there are some teams that are in great positions to get a firm role player that can just fit perfectly with their team. There is a good amount of those teams, a good amount of those picks, which is why I was so excited for us to do this draft. And I'm glad we decided to do it.
There are some my guys in this draft, as there are with every draft that you have.
No doubt.
Who are your my guys for this year's NBA draft?
This one is definitely tough. I've been very consistent on Nikola Topic. It sucks that he tore his ACL, but you know what? I think that with modern medicine, I think that he'll be back, especially with his game, where it is predicated on playmaking, getting to the basket, ball handling. He needs to develop a jump shot. I still believe that Topic is going to be one of those guys that's going to flourish in this league. I'm also going to go Ryan Dunn out of Virginia. I think that he is, for lack of a better term, I feel like Jaden McDaniels, the one that comes to mind, how amazing he is defensively and offensively. He does have his ways to go. Listen, if he gets to Jaden McDaniels' offense, that's a plus for him at this current point in time. But his defense is so amazing, and the versatility that he shows, that's definitely one of my guys. And if I had to go a big, probably go with Khalil Ware right now. That's probably
He's good.
Now, Khalil Ware is going to be a
good.
problem. And honestly, if he goes to the Knicks, it's up.
He's good.
I don't know if he's going to be
See,
there.
there's
at
reports
24,
looking at
25,
Trey
though.
Mitch. Maybe that's their
I
replacement
think
on a rookie contract.
I think most definitely 24, 25, one of those picks is a big man. And
agree
it's
with
going to be a good one.
I got Reed's my guy, Klingen's my guy, Castle's my guy.
Okay, so I should have went basic. Fuck.
Holland's my guy.
Okay.
Isaiah's my guy. Jacoby's my guy.
He got a lot of guys.
Bub is definitely my
Attaboy.
guy.
Shout
That's
out
about it.
You said Ron?
Ron Holland,
Yeah. All right.
That's
Can
one of your guys,
Should
too?
I claim Alex Sarr? Like, that's my guy?
Yeah, you should.
Bye.
Yeah, this draft is a crapshoot, so
True.
Anybody could be bad or anybody could be great.
Last two: Trey Alexander and AJ Johnson.
Buzelis, in or out?
Like, as a my guy?
General.
Oh, general? I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
For what it's worth.
Okay. Buzelis or Zach?
Buzelis.
Really?
Over Riza?
Yeah, Zach.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Riza's better.
I think
Right now.
I think Buzelis will be better.
If
I
Buzelis
agree.
can figure out his jumper,
Yeah.
it's locked. It's Buzelis.
It's also a big thing going from high school to the G League where it's
Yeah.
NBA 3-point line. All of his shots are short, and he's like a weaker guy too. I think the adjustment of second year playing at the NBA 3-point line, it's bound to go up. 27% is way too low. My guys, Dawn Connect, absolutely love his game. I mean, he has a game that's going to
No shock.
So, and you're saying that for a reason. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Is your second my guy Reed Shepard?
No, it's Isaiah Collier. And then we got
and then
Ron
we-
Holmes for my big and Devin Carter as well. Those are
I
my
like
four
Devin
guys.
Carter.
I was preparing John to say that my guys are Dalton Connect, Donovan Clingan,
Mataz
and
Buzelis.
Mataz Buzelis,
Can't forget Kyle
and Tyler
Flick.
Kolek. Can't forget about Tyler Kolek either. That's another one. Is that a your guy? Tyler Kolek's a my guy, actually.
Tyler's dope. Tyler's dope.
Yeah, I like Tyler Kolek a lot. To Phoenix, I think that's a perfect spot. He plays like Goran Dragic.
If your first name for your my guy is not Yves Misi,
That's
you're
crazy.
letting us down.
High praise.
Yves Misi
If
being a
he's
my
not
guy.
your first my guy, you let the team down.
No, he's here. I wrote a my guys notes earlier today. It's titled My Guys. Very simple. I
Okay.
have 4 names: Ron Holland, Tyler Kolek, Khalil Ware, and Yves Misi.
Oh, Khalil, facts.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
it. That's my 4 my guys. I like the bigs in this year's draft.
For sure.
Especially the Valley. That's why if the Knicks can maybe move up into the teens and get Khalil Ware or Yves Misi, you can allow Mitchell Robinson to walk, or you can trade him because he's on a pretty big contract.
I agree.
And you can get somebody else, for that value.
Definitely want to trade him. You don't want to just let him walk.
And I bug. Mitch's not on a big contract, but for what he offers, I feel like we can
Medium
get
size.
that we could get that from a rookie center. That's what I think. That's what I'm saying, honestly. So how you guys been? How's everything with you guys?
I'm good. Today was my sister's birthday. Shout out to my sis. Yesterday was our GOAT's birthday. Shout out to Mr. Joel Moran. Please hit me with the claps.
Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it.
24 years young. Yesterday we hung out. We went
25 now.
25. Fuck, bro. You are getting old.
I know, right?
My sis just turned 24. That's what I was thinking about. But we went to Blue 42. We had a great time. We watched the Oilers absolutely chuck history, which was pretty devastating, but it was fun hanging out last night. Today was pretty great. Can't complain. Not even a little bit. Went to the beach.
That's big
Just been
time.
vibing, truthfully.
Nice.
What you up to, Rivio?
Today, regular day. We had a staff appreciation day, so they fed us food. And
Dude, get outta here.
We played corn squash is the game. I believe?
Cornhole?
Cornhole, yes. Cornhole.
That's a fun game.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. This is
Take that little beanbag and you fucking chuck it?
This is my
Yeah.
fourth time playing it.
Wow.
I'm pretty excited about it. It's a really fun game. Definitely should have it at cookouts. But yeah, today was a regular day for me. I'm excited.
Nice.
John's here.
I am thrilled to be here. It's my first day of summer officially because it's my first year of school, and then I had
Should we out John for being
had a-
dumb in math?
Sure.
Yo, John, you really are dumb in math.
I disagree. But
What's your
okay.
grade in math right now?
My brother
a-
told us 12 times 11 was 121. And he was really strong. He felt really strong about that
It's
answer.
132.
Yeah.
My grade in math right now is like an 80. No, I'm lying.
You lied. You
I
took a
took-
C minus. Oh my God.
So I took
That's
I
shameless.
took a final today, and after that final, it's like a C minus, but I need a C to transfer the credits over to a different school. So
You lying
I
like
need
that
some
to
prayers
start was
tomorrow.
crazy.
I didn't lie.
No, you
Need some
lied. You
prayers.
lied.
It was an 80
Listen, John,
before the
you
final.
don't
That's
get.
cool.
You
So
don't
what's your
get.
grade right now?
It's a C minus. No, it's like something around 70.
So he's on
Lock
the
in.
verge of failing the class. That's what you're saying. You're on the
Buddy,
verge.
there's a D and then there's the F.
Bro,
I'm not
you
no
just
verge of failing the
bro.
class.
You just said
No.
if you don't get a C, your transfers don't transfer. Your credits don't transfer
John,
over.
I would pass the class at the community college, but it won't transfer to my
yeah.
It doesn't
university.
matter if it doesn't transfer. If your credits don't transfer, you failed.
Yeah, John, I'll also say this. In nursing school, if I got less than a 77 for the class, I failed.
Oh, yeah. Nursing school. They
Yeah,
don't take
so
don't play.
I'll say this. I
My
hear
brother
C
Nick was in nursing
minus.
school too.
If I hear C minus, you're fucking failing, John.
You should, the high standards.
Yes.
You're failing.
If you need a C and you have a C minus,
Should be nothing B's and A's, my
because that's the
brother.
bar. That's the standard. That's the bar.
Be better than the bar.
Come on, don't be Tobias
Lock in.
Harris.
Well, I'm used to it being like an F. You know, I never failed a class until one
Math, which was
algebra.
algebra.
junior year. Pandemic
and now
got
what
him.
is he failing again? He's saying that's the shit that has me bothered, bro. He keeps saying that the pandemic got him. He's taking the exact same class now, and he's still fucking failing.
Well, I mean, when you think 12 times 11 is
I
121.
know he's really.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
put him in remedial math, honestly.
We gotta all hope that John passes his final so you can pass your class.
Yeah,
and
we're
transfer over
praying.
those
We're
credits.
believe
praying.
you.
We're praying.
We're holding it
I
down.
don't know
What's
if I
13 times
believe.
12? This isn't algebra. It's just
Don't
basic
know.
math.
I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you I do. I know 12 times 12 is 154.
156.
156.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Good for you, John.
Congrats, you fucking know that. You're taking the class. I'm not. I don't need to learn that.
What are you giggling at?
Giggling at your dumb ass. Bro said, what's 13 times 12? 12 plus 144. We just went over this before the show started. I got it. 156.
Yeah.
John, don't fucking play me. I'm
right.
crying. And then he targeted you, Riff. That's got to be something,
It's
too.
racist.
Why is everything out of your ears?
That was targeted.
It was, right?
That was
Like,
targeted.
that was extremely targeted. Then
You know, it's
didn't fool me. You can't fool me, John.
John, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. This is how we should have started the show.
It's all good, John. It's all good, Johnny boy.
You can't fool me, John. You sitting in Dehls' seats. They acting just like Dehls. Damn.
John, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
You're making me laugh. I can't help it. You got a contagious laugh, man.
All right, let's do the mock drafts.
All right.
That was sweet. Listen, I'm glad that we got the four of us here. I'm
Yo,
really.
wait. How was your day?
Yeah.
Listen,
said it
my
was
day
good.
was good. My day was good. Yesterday was my
sorry.
birthday. You know, I'm really grateful for the people that I got in my life, and you
You're
guys
welcome.
are the people I got in my life, and there's
sure.
people that are not here right now, sitting with us that are in my life that I'm really appreciative of, because I wasn't planning to do anything for my birthday. I was just planning to really just stay home and chill, really not worry about nothing. And then last minute, I kind of got like a kick, like, you know, I kind of want to do something. And Jess, my girlfriend, she wanted to make me a cake and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to have the cake and it's like just us two. That's depressing. So I was just like, let me just hit up people. So I hit up people that was close to me. I hit up you guys, and you guys showed up like late notice, day of, and the amount of people that were there. You know, I'm really grateful for the people in my life that could show up on such short notice like that. And yeah, I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful for this platform that we've built together, for the opportunities ahead. And I really do feel like this is just the funnest thing to do in the world.
Kidding me? There's so much worse shit that we could be doing. We got the gift of talking into microphones, hanging out with our guys, talking sports. We live a
Well,
blessed
algebra.
life. And no, you on the other hand, you got bigger fish to fry. You got
I'm more of a
fish-
stats guy.
Yeah, nice. Way to put that one together.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for John. We all gonna be at the top. But yeah, you know, I'm just really appreciative of everybody and just what we've built, you know, because it's really hard to get here, and sometimes we're constantly on the chase for something. You kind of want more.
Yeah.
You know, and you should want more. You shouldn't be complacent, but you should also realize just how far of a journey you've been on, and just appreciate the moment. And that goes for anything that you're in. You know, even you, John, with this going back to college, because you went back to college, correct?
Yeah. After 2 years of working and not going to school.
Yeah, you know, and you made that decision, and this is part of your journey, and I hope you pass this class. And it's just that's what it's all about. It's just appreciating where you are, because it's all about trying to elevate yourself.
I'm with you.
That's all it's about. But I'm ready to get into this mock draft.
Let's do it.
First overall pick. So this is our 2024 NBA mock draft. The Atlanta Hawks. Alexander Sarr, if I'm not mistaken, has not working out with them yet.
Are we collabing on this? We all right?
Yeah,
We should
down
collab
to.
on it.
No.
Unless you want your own picks.
That's how we
I
get
was,
Zach Yee to
I
pick
was
7.
ridiculed and belittled my first draft that we ever did together. I earned the right to have my own individual pick now.
That's cool.
Pick a
That's
side of
fair.
trivia. Who was the player that Drew took in that 2021 class?
Only the real know, man.
And then you took one that I thought was even more like out left field.
shit.
I don't know
That
if
might
you
have been-
remember.
What
That might have
who
been-
got
I
to?
think it
might
was
have
pick
been-
14 to the Warriors. I'm not mistaken.
Who? Moses Moody?
No.
That was my mock.
He's lying.
You mocked somebody out of left field, bro.
Hey,
pull it up.
I can't find a way to do
I know what you're talking about. You're not talking about the Warriors pick, though. I definitely did mock. Who's that dude from Michigan? His name that I was high on, the lefty from Michigan 2 years ago?
Lefty
Something Henry.
That's what I'm thinking.
Something. Aaron Henry?
Aaron Henry. I was very high on Aaron Henry before the draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he went
that
to
was the
Michigan
name.
State.
Oh, yeah, you're
wanna
right.
say
Michigan
it
was
State.
Michigan
Sorry.
State.
It was just the same thing for me. But he went to Michigan State, and I mocked him in the first round to
No,
the
yeah,
Sixers.
you thought he was the GOAT.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. The 14 to the Warriors, I mocked Moses Moody. You know, come on, respect
He's
me.
fucking
Right.
lying.
Respect me.
He's
Respect
lying.
me.
No, Aaron Henry really just.
Well, okay,
disappeared.
if Drew, if you want to get the pick, I mean, you
He
can
wasn't
select
drafted.
where you want to start. Do you want the first overall pick?
Honestly, I would love pick 3.
Okay.
Wow.
So in order to get pick 3,
you can go that way.
yeah, starts with me, and I can get pick number 1.
I'll go last.
From all the reports that have came out so far, Sarr has not worked out with the Hawks. There's a logjam with the big man there right now with Capella and Onyeka, but everybody's expendable. So I don't know why he hasn't chosen to work out with them just yet. It's an unstable situation for sure, though it's a franchise that you don't know what they're going to do. So that's probably why he's not working out for them. I'm going to go with Reese Shea with the first overall pick. He's been mocked there.
Wow.
And this is just a really basic number 1 pick, just off of what I've seen in mocks. I'm not going to get too in depth. The first overall pick doesn't intrigue me like that in this draft at all. I don't care about it.
Why are you taking Risa Shea over?
Yeah, why?
Sorry.
Or Klingon.
Those are just where all the reports are leading to. I want to preface this mock draft by saying my picks will be based on reporting and
Not what you
fit
think.
of where they're going to be, not exactly what
You know
I
what,
think.
though? Back 2 years ago, you could have made Jabari Smith the first overall pick based off those reports pre-draft too. And what it really comes down to is, who do you think should be going first overall?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Who do you think should go number
coach
1?
No, what he did is he put me on a spot to select the first.
No, he
That's
definitely
what he
did.
did.
And honestly,
That's what he
good
did.
shit,
He's a
John.
dickhead.
We're here,
I want a real first pick.
We're here, John.
Because I look at Risa Shea. I still have to get like the exact pronunciation
call him
down
Zach.
pat.
Call him
And
Zach.
Please, just
Zach
call him
is a
Zach.
great way to put it. Very simple for me. I don't think he's worthy of
This
the
is
first
wider.
overall pick, but I think for many teams in that 3 through 5 spot, he would fill an exact need. But with this selection, if you're the Hawks, this is an opportunity you may never get again. And with Trae Young, you want to pair him with the perfect pick and roll partner. And Alex Sarr reminds me a lot of Nick Claxton on the defensive end. You could say that the
He
Hawks have
doesn't
a
want
lot.
to play the 5 from reports.
You could say the Hawks maybe have a logjam in the front court. I think him getting to develop, whether it's off the bench or on the starting lineup, would help their defense tremendously. And you can find a stand-up rim protector all the time. There's guys like Isaiah Hartenstein to come out, even Day'Ron Sharp on the Nets. There's so many different backup bigs that you can play for 15 to 20 minutes alongside Alex Sarr if he has to play the 4. And I think the biggest thing is you want to swing an upside. I think Alex Sarr's got the most upside.
Here's my rebuttal to that. I think it really all depends on how long Trey's going to stay there and wait for Alexander Sarr to develop. I think if the best guy to keep him there and they'll compete right away, I think it's Klingon. I think he provides that rim protection that you need right now. You know, that playmaking out the post, the rim deterrence. I do think Sarr has more upside for sure.
on offense,
Yeah,
especially.
I think he has more upside, but I think Klingon is a little bit more prepared now. And I think he would help them. Kind of like how Lively helped Dallas.
Yeah.
So with the first overall pick, I already selected Reese Shea.
You can undo the pick.
You can?
I'm
Okay.
screaming.
I'm not going to undo the pick. He will be the pick.
Pretty sure.
But I'm looking at these players, looking at the point guards on Fanspo. Stephon Castle, Nikola Topic, Rob Dillingham. I don't think those are first overall pick material players. Topic maybe
Thank you
if
for
he was
respecting my
healthy.
goat.
I look at the shooting guards, Reese Shepard, no. And everybody else, Cody Williams, Kobe Walter, no. Go to power forwards. Alex Sarr is in contention for it. After that, nobody else is. Small forward, Mataz Bucelis, if he had a better year, I think he probably would have in G League Ignite.
I agree.
But he's not a first overall pick guy. Ron Holland, if you're talking about upside swings and first overall pick guys, it's probably Ron Holland for me. And then it's Alex Sarr. Those are first overall pick guys. I like
that.
Ron Holland and Reese Shea because I think Reese Shea in the playoffs in his league, he played really well.
Yeah, he
he's a
played great
good
there, yeah.
shooter. He's awesome in transition. He can handle. He can pass the ball. He's really good. And I just want to preface it by saying that. He's a 6'9" forward who can become an all-around forward in the league, and that's very valuable. With Alex Sarr, my knock on him is that I just don't know what position he's going to really play. He doesn't want to play center. He wants to play power forward. Is going to be able to hang in the perimeter. I know he's agile for his size, but right now his claim to fame is being a really great rim protector, but his rebounding leaves a lot to be desired. He's not a very good rebounder, and he's not a very good outside shooter. How can you play the 4 spot next to a big that can't shoot if you can't shoot the ball?
That's valid.
And we don't know if he's going to develop that jump shot. So those are the biggest concerns for me when it comes to Alexander Sarr. The wing spot for Atlanta is what they've been dying to have. They swung with they drafted DeAndre Hunter. They swung with Cam Reddish. Both of them have not panned out. Jalen Johnson has panned out at the power forward spot.
Big time.
And if you're drafting Sarr, you want him to play the 5 alongside Jalen Johnson.
Right.
Jalen Johnson is not a 3 to me. He's a 4. Reese Shea is more of a 3. If you keep Trey and Reese Shea and Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka, I think, can be a good starter. Your shooting guard position needs to be filled, but I think that's a better foundation if they're keeping all their parts. I think Alex Sarr is a fine player, but he has weaknesses to where he's not a surefire first overall pick, and we're doing this mock draft, and I got to go off the assumption that we're a day away from the draft. We're 24 hours away from the draft, and Sarr has not worked out with the team that has the first overall pick.
At the same time, Evan Mobley didn't work out at the Cavaliers. He didn't want to go there, and they took him, ended up being fine. But you are right. I think watching Sarr, one thing I noticed is that for a guy that is so athletic and has the upside, he needs work in his hands. His finishing around the rim needs to be refined. Like, there are a lot of parts of his game that are super raw. But I love the Ron Holland shout because I think the idea of him and Jalen Johnson playing off a Trey, making all the decisions, that would be really good on the wings.
Yeah, Ron Holland is dropping in this draft, but the second overall pick goes to you, John, now with the Wizards.
So Reese Shea locked.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'm on the wrong tab. My apologies.
John, you had at least.
With the second overall pick for the Washington Wizards, I think this is an absolute slam dunk. We're taking Alexander Sarr. This is a guy who, paired alongside Bilal Coulibaly and Denny Avdia, would be a perfect dream defensive trio from the 3 through 5 spots. Washington's got to work on their backcourt big time, but I think in the next couple of drafts, you can focus on that. For right now, build your defensive identity, build that integrity of Brian Keefe coming in, and I think Alexander Sarr would be a perfect fit. They just need to find a point guard to help him develop.
All right. That means pick 3 goes to Andrew Velez. We have the Houston Rockets on the board. And this kind of goes the way that I expected. I know, to me right now, who I think best available would be Donovan Clingan. I don't think he is a great fit for the Houston Rockets. I don't think alongside Alperen Şengün that would be beneficial for him. And how can Clingan at the number 3 pick really blossom when he's going to be playing around 20 minutes a game? To me, wouldn't be an ideal situation for him. I'm going to be selecting Reed Sheppard now. If you guys have listened in the past, I wasn't the hugest fan of Reed Sheppard, and maybe that's my fault because I'm tourney made, and I watch a lot of these guys, and sometimes for the biggest moments, they don't shine the brightest. Reed really shied away in that moment. I saw Reed just not even want to be aggressive by any means, not even put shots up, and that's where I kind of gave Rob the benefit of the doubt, Rob Dillingham the benefit of the doubt, because at least he was willing to die on his sword. Didn't play great, but at least he was going out shooting. And Reed was the complete opposite, but as a shooter, this is the best shooter in the class. You put that on this Houston Rockets team, his ability to handle the basketball, play, honestly, pretty high-level defense, but really be that lights-out three-point shooter. That's exactly what the Houston Rockets need. To me, that would be the selection.
I think this is an excellent pick.
I agree.
Reed Sheppard.
That's the easiest pick to make.
Fits them.
He's warmed up
this
on
was
me a
easy
lot.
pick.
His mid-range game, too, is really lethal.
For sure.
And if he can be, look, in Houston, they have a really good defense they've built. If he's the worst defense in that group in the post-Red Van Vliet days, they'll be Zach. He's got good hands. He's competitive. He's kind of the perfect 3-and-D wing to replace Van Vliet long-term.
You have to think about what the Rockets need. And what they need is they need shooting. They don't have shooting, especially if one day the outterm outlook of this team features a starting lineup where Amen Thompson and Şengün are both in it. You need spacing around them. And Reed Sheppard fills that, because as much as I love Jalen Green and I hope that he does figure it out, that's not a shoe-in to be a long-term piece that you're keeping around. And Reed Sheppard, if the backcourt is Amen Thompson and Reed Sheppard, I think that's pretty good backcourt, and it can hide some of his defensive deficiencies because Amen is so great. But Reed Sheppard is athletic in his own size, in his own right.
He's just
You're
small.
6'5",
Yeah.
6'6", totally different story.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Pick 4.
You had the 4th overall pick, Rev, with the Spurs.
Yes. This one is easy for me. I'm going Ron Holland here.
Nice.
I'm taking Ron Holland with the pick.
Wow.
I know he's falling in the draft. To me, he has the most upside in this draft. He's the most talented player in this draft, and thinking about it as if I am the Spurs, a point guard is going to be there at 8, and I know it's going to be there.
Guaranteed.
Why not swing? Go take the guy that keeps falling out. We need that talent at the 2-3 spot. We have Vassell. We have Victor. You plug in Ron Holland. I trust our development team.
Right.
We're going to get that right, and I'll get my guard later.
I love taking an upside play here at 4.
You got
But
2
how
picks.
do you think he fits with Jeremy Shohan? That's my question. At the wins, you got 0.
But
shooting.
Jeremy can play the 4.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
0.
he will be
shooting
the
between
4.
those two guys, bro.
True.
He will be the 4.
So right now, who's the starting lineup for the Spurs?
Right now, as it stands, Trey, Devin, the 3.
He didn't start late
Trey
in the
was
year.
Trey was starting eventually when he
He was.
realized he needed to play with Victor.
Trey, Vassell.
Trey Vassell.
Keldon for now.
3 is Keldon. But you
Good
just
chance
drafted
he's moved.
Ron, so let's just say Ron.
He doesn't. He don't have to start his
Shohan.
But
first
I
year.
think that
Wemby.
answer to this question right there is that they don't have a solidified starting 3. They don't have a small
Sohan isn't
forward.
a solidified starting
No,
4 either.
I'm pretty low
He's
on
not.
Shohan, too.
He's
so.
somebody he's
I don't think
probably a
he's
role
starter
player.
long-term.
Shohan, the second half of the season, started to show me some things. Defensively, we known, but shooting the basketball, he actually started to find it as a connector. I think Shohan, honestly,
You gotta trust the development, trust the
Yeah.
fact that his shot will get better. And all respect to Keldon Johnson, he cannot be our long-term 3. So either move Vassell up or put Ron there. But I'm banking on the potential.
This is a great pick for the Spurs. This is a great pick, and we're gonna circle back to them later on, and let's see who they pick and who they pair Ron Holland up with. With the 5th overall pick for the
Who you
Pistons,
picking for my boys, man?
man, I understand that they probably
fired our
want to go
coach.
for upside picks because it's a team that lacks a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But I'm saying screw that, man. I think Cade Cunningham is a really good player. I think he's a great player. He needs a great situation around him. I feel like you already have your guy that you want to build around. You just got to really start building around him and drafting players, with all due respect to Asar Thompson, that don't fit Cade Cunningham's game. Is going to limit the ceiling of this entire group and frankly make everybody look worse around him. So I'm going to go with fit here with the 5th overall pick. Maybe they trade back from this spot, but if they're selecting at number 5, I'm selecting Dalton Connect for the Detroit
I
Pistons.
love that selection for them. That's a great fit.
his defense is ass, but his jump shot is insanity. I'm fine with this just because they need another reliable offensive options that's not just Cade, because Cade's usage cannot be Luka Doncic going into next season. It's probably going to be just because of how bad the Pistons are, but I understand the selection. If you're the
amazing pick.
Pistons, I feel like you still need to go upside, and I know that
I think
you've
they're
done
going.
that.
I think
so
they're going
at this
Matisse.
point.
Buzelis
Yeah.
was who I
think
was
they'll go
expecting,
Buzelis.
I like
but
that
I
pick.
understand the logic behind Connect. I would have gone Buzelis, though.
This is a make or break year for Cade. He needs an elite shooter to pair alongside him. You just traded Boyan. You have no shooting damn near in that starting lineup.
What do you
Getting
mean by
a guy
make or
like
break?
Connect, who can not only make shots but also is able to play downhill, get really good left hand, can finish well, got the mid range. There's so much more to his game than just shooting, and I think that'd be a perfect fit because at 23 years old, he's gonna be NBA ready.
What do you mean make or break?
Cade going to year 4. This is a huge year to determine whether or not he's a franchise face, a guy that you can build around as number
I think
one.
this is more of a make or break for Detroit.
This is Cade's year to show himself as a franchise pillar, like the franchise phase that will be a top 10 player or a top 15 player, because I don't think he'll be top 10, but top 15, a guy that you build your team around. Making those faces.
Scotty Barnes just got $270 million, and the Raptors just missed the playoffs. I think that Cade's okay if he plays the way that he just played this season, and the Pistons are still ass.
Well, this is a big year for his development. That's what I'm saying.
I understand.
He
I
missed all
think
of his
this is
second
more of
year
a
down
big
there.
year for, like, if they don't get a.
Well, it's about building around Cade.
It's not building around Cade it's good, and like I get the make or break year for Cade, but if they continue to put like
Maybe-
terrible rosters out
Yeah,
there,
I
it's,
agree.
it's really not going to matter what he
Maybe
does.
make or break is a strong way to put it, but it's a huge year for Cade.
It's more of I get what you're saying. Detroit got to do something.
I think Detroit already did something that I love. You made a mistake in Monty. You try to connect.
Well, to be
correct
honest,
it.
I just think mine didn't want to be there. I
That
think it's
too.
like peace.
He
Give
was
me
gonna
my
take- he was gonna
65
take
million
a year off,
guaranteed.
so.
I'm gone.
John, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is better between Cade Cunningham and Tyrese Halliburton?
Right now or long term.
Give me both. Just give me
Okay.
both.
Right now, Tyrese Halliburton's a better player.
Long term, he's going to say Cade. That's why he asked you that.
In 2 years, I think it'll be like very even. Like we're talking, this is like the 8th and 7th best point guards in the NBA. That even.
He's back.
Come on.
You're back. You're back, man.
All right,
You're
John.
not racist
Pick
anymore.
6.
Okay.
Charlotte
With
Hornets.
the 6th overall pick for the Charlotte Hornets, there's a couple of different ways we can go here, but This is tough. I'm between Stephon Castle and Maz Buzelis. And the route I'm going to go is Maz Buzelis with this overall, with the 6 overall
hate that,
pick
honestly.
here. We're going to get a guy to plug in at the 4 alongside Mark Williams. And the reason why I'm taking him over Stephon Castle is that I buy his 3-point shot more long term. Buzelis, to me, doesn't have a whole lot of creation upside off the dribble, but he's a really good off-ball player that can fit within the flow of an offense, good transition threat, and defensively as a help rim protector, weak side actions alongside Mark Williams. I think they'll build a decent defense in the next couple of years with that 3 through 5, Brandon Miller, Maz Buzelis, and Mark Williams.
Now, pick 7, Portland Trailblazers. This is hard because there are some really good guards on the board, but Lord knows the Portland Trailblazers do not need guards.
They're terrible.
They have
exactly
Anthony
what they
Simons. They have obviously
terrible.
Scoot
The
Henderson.
Blazers are terrible.
The Blazers
yeah.
are pretty bad.
Yeah, hate that for them.
The
too.
best player available is Donovan Clingan. I will be selecting Donovan Clingan. I understand that this isn't the sexiest team for
I'm
him to
fine
go
with that.
to.
It's DeAndre and they
But
don't want to be their long-term.
DeAndre Ayton is not the long-term answer for them, obviously.
Rob Will's always hurt.
Yeah, I hate to say it.
He could be a backup though.
For
He's on a cheap deal.
entertainment purposes, again, people are very high on Clingan. Clingan going to Portland definitely is a buzzkill. If he were to be one more pick going to the Spurs, people would love that, especially
Memphis.
pairing that next. Memphis is another one. I think Memphis trades up on draft night.
They could
truthfully.
trade up with the
If he's,
Pistons.
Correct.
if he's sitting here, I think they'll trade.
They'll
up.
trade up. I agree. But to me, you cannot allow Clingan to slip past 7. That's going to be the selection.
All right. Sorry, I was watching Jordan Poole highlights.
Back at number 8
my
for
God.
you, Riv,
Dude.
No,
with the
are you
Spurs.
good? Watching his highlights? Shit.
Warriors highlights, I'm assuming you can't watch Washington.
No, it's a lot
highlights.
of Warriors highlights.
He actually, because he probably had a ton of usage.
Yeah, you catch that. All you gotta do is a highlight is just one moment.
I know.
We're back. We're back. Topic just towards ACL. That blows.
Actually.
But he is 6'5", 6'6",
He's
great
OD.
playmaker. He doesn't really provide that shooting that you want him to. Rob
Especially
Dillingham
Hollins.
is
Yeah,
Rob.
fit.
Can I speak? Thank you.
Yeah.
This guy
Shit,
here.
bro.
Rob Dillingham, electric scorer, good ball handler, good shooter, defense. He's really small. Playmaking was getting better towards the end of the year.
For sure.
Stephon Castle didn't really create much in college. More of a connector. Not a great shooter. This one is tough. But I think I'm going to go Rob Dillingham here at 8. I think I already took Ron Holland. I took the upside pick. I have Devin Vassell. I have Victor. But I need somebody who can, at the point guard position, give me some electricity, give me some fire, have some ball handling. I like the playmaking that it got better towards the end of the year. I know Topic is the better playmaker, but I think I'm going to stick with the scoring guard. So I'm going to go with Rob here.
The way that this board just broke, if I'm Memphis and I stay here, I'm not happy.
Trade back for sure.
I'm not happy because when we were talking, Riv, I thought the team that couldn't lose the most in this top 10 outside of the Spurs because they have 2 picks was the Memphis Grizzlies. I was not anticipating Connect going in the top 5. Clingan is another one that obviously I anticipated to go early, but if you're the Grizzlies, you're kind of pissed off here. It's kind of a bad beat.
If you're Memphis, your goal from this draft is to come away with Donovan Clingan.
Yes.
That's the goal of the draft.
If not Clingan, though, you trade back in one of them other bigs and get somebody else.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I was reading some mock drafts and it seems like Memphis is a candidate to trade with Detroit. That 5th overall pick, that spot right there. Because if the Pistons are at 9, they can still get Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect would have slid here. And then at 5, the Grizzlies would get Clingan. And I think that would be a fair trade. And I think with the 9th overall pick right now with Memphis, I'm tasked with selecting this pick. Why would I select Stephon Castle when I have Marcus Smart? It makes no sense to me. So right now, with the way this board has broken, I'm just going through all these players, and
Are you going to trade?
there's nobody that is really appealing to
The
me.
one that is sticking out to me would be Saluan for the fact that he is a 3-point shooter. He does have some good size on him, can probably play the wing. I don't know if I would want a guard at all if I'm Memphis. I can understand
Makes no
because
sense.
you do have Marcus Smart in terms of, is he going to be on the Memphis Grizzlies for a while or post his contract with them? You do have Bane. You do have John Morant. I guess you could consider both of them injury prone, as Bane did get injured. We know John Morant has struggled to stay on the court, but you need shooting, and you need to build this team around John Morant with the idea that he is there and he is the answer long term. So to me, I would be making this selection to put a player to fit next to John Morant.
Listen, with me, it's either you're reaching at center here, you're reaching for Misi or Ware or maybe Edie. And then the guards make no sense outside of Cody Williams. Saluan is intriguing a little bit because of upside, I guess. But like, why would I draft Saluan when I already have Santi Aldama? That's like the dream version of Saluan.
I get. Don't make me laugh.
Is that not facts?
He's spitting.
I don't know. I don't know if I.
If Saluan develops into Santi Aldama, is that not a win?
That's a win. Dijon's a
Santi
very
Aldama's a wing.
No, a win. I mean a win.
Oh! I thought you said
Santi Aldama's 7 foot who can shoot.
Yeah, the thing with Saluan, yes, is his anything creation.
You need depth.
You know what, bro? I'm going with Cody Williams here.
Okay.
This is just an easy pick. I was thinking about trading back John. Maybe we should have added Trace to this draft. If we did the Pistons and Grizzlies trade, it would have been great. You got the 10th overall pick, though.
Cody Williams isn't a bad pick at all. Honestly.
Not at all.
No, it's not.
That's the Zaire Williams replacement for them. But I think Gigi
Wasn't
Jackson.
that your guy?
Gigi Jackson is the long-term piece at that forward.
Zaire Williams was not my guy.
All right.
I'm positive.
Is that his guy?
All right. With the 10th overall pick.
It was somebody else that's similar. I just don't remember who.
Okay. With the 10th overall pick, the Utah Jazz are in a tough spot here.
What are you so cheesy about?
Can I go?
What's up with this guy, man? Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
I would have took Cody Williams if you didn't take him right there, number 9. But for Utah last year, they took a point guard in Keontae George, who I think they want to build as that lead creator in that starting lineup. They've got Larry Markkinen and Walker Kessler, who I view as long-term starters.
Are you going to do
There's just not many guards here that I would take. And quite frankly, who do you want them to take?
I would take Castle here at this
Stephon
point.
Castle does make a lot of sense.
That's a good pick because defensively, it's one of the worst teams in the NBA, and you could get yourself a real culture changer for Will Hardy. And I also think he'd be a good off-ball mover. I'm between him and Nikola Topic, and quite frankly, I don't think Topic is a good fit with Keontae George. So here at pick 10, we'll take Stephon Castle for the Utah Jazz.
I love that for him.
That's pretty sick. And now the Chicago Bulls at pick 11.
Oh, we should.
Do you want this pick and I'll take pick 12?
I would love to see what you would do.
I'll tell you what, man.
Because we're fucked here.
This is shitty. You want to know what also sucks? That if you didn't trade for Josh Giddey, Nikola Topic is coming home. He was 1,000% coming home. But you have Kobe White. You have now Josh Giddey as your 2 guards. I mean, not great times to be a Chicago
Not drafting
Bull fan.
Topic because you have Josh Giddey's crazy, though.
That's wild.
Because if you're not
just
high on
traded
Giddey,
away
you should,
Caruso.
I know, but if you're not high on Giddey, you should draft Topic. Like, if you're a Topic guy,
I'm
right?
also thinking around the same lines as, yes, I am a Topic guy, but I am thinking along the lines of a little bit what I would do plus what the organization just did. They turned down pick 13 from the Sacramento Kings. That would have sent Caruso to Sacramento at pick 13. Clearly they didn't like the guy that they would have had there. They said, we would rather Josh Giddey than pick 13. You know?
That
so
sucks.
that's kind of, that sucks pretty
That would have
badly.
been great for
Would have been
Kings.
for the Kings.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking awesome. But if for me to hear that, they don't love the players in this draft. That they said that we would rather take a chance on Josh Giddey, which is why, I mean, a guy that plays his position, obviously not the same size, but similar skill set where I say similar skill set, but
similar style.
Correct. Where I think Topic will have a better time finishing at the basket, better ball handle. Let me not say a better passer because that's what Giddey's strength is.
So, question, Joe, are you going with the big here? Because that's the only other need, I feel like.
The Bulls need everything.
You're right.
Hey, we got a point.
They literally the
Yes,
only
guards.
bright
Yeah.
spot
You have
is
two good
Kobe.
guards. Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of the roster.
We don't need
is gonna
another
happen.
guard.
You have
Promise you we
Io,
don't.
and you have Kobe.
Yeah.
Because right now, what's on the board, we don't have forwards on the board at all, outside of Saluan.
I'm leaning Saluan, truthfully. That's literally where my mind's
Would
at.
it be crazy to reach on Jacoby Walter?
I'm not the hugest
need shooting.
Jacoby. Listen, I feel like Flip has gotten a lot of discredited a lot in this process. I still think that he's a solid offensive player, can shoot the basketball, has great size to him, can rebound the basketball really well. But that's not where I'm leaning right now. I am going with Saluan at pick 11. You get some shooting. He's not a great ball handler, but I don't feel like you need him to be that on the Bulls right now.
I think I would have reached on Tyler Smith with this one.
Really?
Yes.
You want to know who I think would have been great for the Bulls here?
Who?
Devin Carter.
Another guard.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the reason
I don't know.
Collier Topic
No,
was
you're
the
right.
first guard
If
easily.
that's the
They have
case,
so many
they have
guards.
too many guards.
Because Topic was a
plays a lot
no-brainer
bigger.
if I
Io
was
has,
taking a
has
guard.
earned like 22 minutes.
That's
a game.
another one.
He's come up the
25 at
bench.
least.
I didn't
Yeah.
even mention
I just
Ion.
think
That's a
Carter
mistake
plays a
on
lot
my
bigger
part.
than 6'3", but you're right. They
Yeah,
have
it's,
a log
you know.
jam.
Yeah, essentially
getting
Devin
now.
Carter is what you.
So.
Io is what Devin Carter could be, right?
I guess. I think Carter's, yeah, honestly, because
I'm
of his
just-
driving ability, it's a pretty similar
If
style.
I was taking a guard, it was Topic, no question about it. But with the Bulls, they just handcuffed themselves to not do that. So we'll see what they do, but it's not great times.
There we go. Pick 12. I need a big.
I didn't love that pick, by the way.
What?
The Bulls, this board, horrendous.
No, it's not good. I would trade back, try to get like a couple more. Need a big. Pretty much all the good bigs are still in the board for the
Facts.
most part. You know, you got Ware, you got the guy from Baylor. I really don't know how to say his
Yves
name.
Misi.
Yes, there we go. You got Kyle. Zach Ide is still up here, and you was just
Demon
convincing
Edey.
me that he should go 12. I think Chet and Ware are kind of the same, so I think that would be redundant. You need kind of a banger, somebody that can protect the rim. I don't see why you wouldn't take the chance on Zach Ide. You know, you already, that is also my pick, by the way, to
Nice.
go with that. I think you already have your guards. You have Case and Wallace. You just got Caruso. You have SGA. J-Dub, Dortz, those are kind of your wings. Aaron Wiggins is also there. You need more bigs. That's essentially what you need. Jalen Williams is cool. I love Jalen Williams. I like his energy, the big, obviously. But I think you need somebody that can really defend the rim. So I'm going to go Ide here.
Yeah, you just need somebody that can play 14, 15 minutes of solid center basketball. And Zach Edey, it's not the same as Chet. With Chet, you could play up on screens, you can switch everything. Zach Edey, that's a traditional drop big, but when he's in the game, he can be a great rim protector for you, but also he can assert his dominance on offense because he's so tall. And in college, he dominated 25 and 12. I mean, his stats are undeniable. I know he gets compared to the Luka Garza's of the world, but I think that Zach Edey is more of a paint presence than those other guys.
He's a
before
big
him.
boy.
That's the 12th overall pick. 13, Sacramento Kings. This is easy. I'm going with the big. It's either Khalil Ware or Yves Misi. They need one of those guys that is physical down low. That's Yves Misi. But you can also argue, well, Khalil Ware, you kind of need some shooting, and he can offer that as well with some really good defense. So I'm going to go with Khalil Ware to the Sacramento Kings at number 13.
Great pick.
Okay. Khalil Ware. I'm currently putting the pick in because my Fanspo site crashed. So with the 14th overall selection for the Portland Trailblazers, we recently took Donovan Clinton before, and that really fortifies our front court quite a bit. Have a lot of guards between Shane Sharp, Anthony Simon still on the roster, and Scoot Henderson. So I'm looking at a wing here, and the player who I'm going to take, it's going to be Devin Carter out of Providence. I look at his play style. It's really one of the more
You
versatile.
said you wasn't taking another guard.
Yeah, I also view him as like more of a two and a half, like a
6'2".
small. He's 6'3". It's 6'2" in shoes. He plays like a guy that's like 6'5", 6'6", and one of my player comps for him would be a Josh Hart, especially on the glass. Now in the NBA, I don't think he'll play as big as a guy like Hart, but I just think he's a culture setter for a team that is very young, very raw, very inexperienced. Carter brings a dynamic off the bench, really a spark that Josh Hart would have brought if they had trimmed to the Knicks, and I just think he brings a lot of two-way play that they can need on the backcourt complement alongside.
Tighten up, Scoop.
Yeah, not an ideal situation for the Blazers either. However, you get Klingon, another guard.
Who else are you gonna take there? Tristan Da Silva. I haven't watched enough of him.
Honestly, would it
That
have been the
wouldn't be
worst
that wouldn't
thing
be
if you
terrible.
went Flip too? You get Klingon and you get Flip, who also can now shoot the basketball. You really solidify that front court. To me, I didn't hate that at all. But
I probably went with Tyler Smith there, too.
Tyler Smith was definitely one that I was considering.
Honestly, it's not a bad shout. If they do end up trading Anthony Simons, Devin Carter at the 2 with Shane Sharp at the 3, I think is a very nice fit alongside Scoot Henderson as your franchise point guard. Very nice fit.
All right, the Miami Heat are on the board still, and
You can pick whoever.
they do have a luxury here. I will be taking Nikola Topic. I really understand that this is a luxury for Miami, and him falling to pick 15 is truly foul play. But if you're Miami, you now get a point guard who has to work on his jump shot. That's an obvious, but as a playmaker now, you can get the ball out of, which honestly, I don't know if you'd want that per se, where Bam obviously has been such a great playmaker for them, but now you can get him into different spots, and maybe now you open up his offensive game by now having Nikola Topic out on the court. And if Topic can now develop a three-point shot, now Miami's offense really gets that extra added element that they definitely were looking for. So to me, this is an easy selection. I will be going Nikola Topic.
You got the 16th pick, Riff.
Yes, I do. Philly doesn't have a roster at the moment.
No.
So they have 3 players, Paul Reed, Maxey's. Well, he's not officially
not
on the
guys,
roster either. Yeah, so it's just
he should be back.
Yeah, it's just Embiid, Reed, and we know Maxey will be back. Isaiah's so talented, but I am so not comfortable with him and Maxey, same size, in the backcourt defensively. I'm not feeling that. Thinking about a few things. I'm thinking about Kyle here. You can always use another backup. Thinking about Jacoby Walter here. He just gives me that scoring punch off the bench. Tyler Smith. I'm going to go Bub.
Nice. That's
Bub
a nice
Carrington.
selection, true.
I'm gonna
Over
go
Isaiah Collier, too.
Yeah, I'm going to go reach. I'm going to go Bub. I really like his tools. I like the fact that he can work in the mid-range. His pick-and-roll offense is really good. He's long. He's strong. He's tall. He just doesn't get to the rim as much.
Yes.
But I would like that to improve, and I think his ball handling ability is good to where he can run the 6-man unit. You know, maybe not run it, but definitely be a part of it and score in the NBA. So I'm going to reach here, and I'm going to go Bub Carrington.
With the 17th pick, the Los Angeles Lakers have this selection.
Do right for my boy.
Anthony Davis, he wants to play the 4. You want Yves Misi with the 17th overall pick, or who do you want?
I wouldn't mind that at all, honestly. If you make that selection, I will happily stamp it.
Who are you looking at?
I do want a big. I was hoping and praying that Khalil Ware would magically fall to us. I know that was a little bit unreasonable. But to me, I want Anthony Davis to slide to the 4 and we get a big and someone that could be an immediate impact player. And I think that can be Yves Misi. I mean, I feel like I keep bringing up Flip because he can shoot the basketball. He's one of the few big men outside of Khalil Ware that can shoot the basketball from the outside. But if you can now bring in another big that can rebound the basketball, but that can also stretch out the floor, especially with Anthony Davis, who's not a great three-point shooter at all. Honestly, he's not a good three-point shooter at this point in his career.
Three-point shooter?
Yeah, respect. He 2020, never forget.
4 years ago, brother.
I know, it's a while. I'm chasing a high. But I feel like I would love that ideally, and Flip right now would be the only guy. But if you went a vest, I'm not mad at that at all.
You know, I'm going to go with Kyle Filipowski.
Nice, okay.
JJ Redick from Duke. You know, he went to Duke.
Facts.
Shooting. Mikal Bridges went to the Knicks. Mikal Bridges just got traded to the New York Knicks.
No way.
Mikal Bridges to the Knicks, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
4 unprotected.
He got trolled?
Wait, hold on.
4 unprotected first-round picks.
What? He's on the Knicks, bro.
We're
No,
good.
he's playing.
We're good.
That means
We're good.
that means
That
Anunoby's
is a
gone.
lot, though.
That might mean Anunoby's
Anunoby
gone.
is
They're the
gone.
second rounder.
Yeah, we're rebuilding. It's over.
You think that does mean Anunoby's
think
gone?
that-
2025,
I just got
2027,
goosebumps.
2029,
That's
2031.
But listen, we got
nuts.
to understand
Holy shit.
the perspective from the Knicks. OG Anunoby is let's just be realistic here. Let's just be reasonable right now. Let's talk. I know this is breaking news right now. We're reacting to it live right now on the podcast. OG Anunoby declined his player option. Philadelphia can offer him $40 million a year if they want to. Do the Knicks really want to pay $40 million a year to a guy that, to his credit, the Knicks were 25-2 with
amazing.
OG in the regular season,
They're amazing.
but he got hurt in the playoffs, and that's been something that he struggled with in his career: durability. Mikal Bridges was second. He came second in Defense Player of the Year voting in 2022. And he developed his game in Brooklyn, averaged 20 points per game, but he's reliable. You can count on Mikal Bridges every single game. He doesn't miss games. He plays all the time. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Dante, Julius, Hartenstein.
This is a Nick, but like he is a true Nick.
This is a great move. And if this is the move to replace OG Anunoby, it's even better. This is a great move. 4 unprotected first round picks, it's a little too much, but you got to think about it. What's the other option for the Knicks? What's the other option?
4 unprotected first-round
And
picks,
a
a
second.
protected first-round pick from the Bucks, and an unprotected pick swap,
That's
and a
5.
second rounder. Yo.
The Nets actually got 5.
The Knicks really just compiled the entire Villanova team from 2018, 2017. Josh Hart, Dante, Jalen Brunson, and now
I'm
Mikal.
shocked. I'll be honest.
Yo.
You do have to wonder if it was worth it.
I'm shocked at the whole. Like, Mikal is a good player. And you guys definitely got somebody who's cheaper, who's available. He can hit the 3 ball. He can defend. But, 5 picks for Mikal.
No, for
4
sure.
unprotected.
For sure.
Shit.
I mean, right now, JC is with us. He just walked into the studio. What are your thoughts, JC? You could just pull up and just get a microphone, just talk.
Yo.
And just give your thoughts on the move real quick. After we finish reacting to this, we'll get the actual setup done. We're doing this live for everybody watching right now. This just happened. It's breaking
There he
news.
is. The legend.
What's goody?
Wow.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the Nets trading Mikal Bridges?
I think we got. I don't want to say a fleece because I wouldn't say it's a fleece yet because we have to see how the Knicks do. But for all the Nets fans that were on Twitter questioning what direction the Nets were going in, I think it's pretty simple now. We're trying to rebuild. I mean, we got 4 unprotected picks from Mikal Bridges. I think it works out for both teams. I mean, he's on a great value contract. I was telling Riv over there briefly that this isn't the same Mikal Bridges that was on Phoenix. He's gotten better as a playmaker. He's gotten better as a scorer. He's gotten better as an overall player, as an offensive option. Great value. I think this ultimately says that OG's gone, but I don't think you lose much value. I think Mikal Bridges, if we compare both of them, I would rather have Mikal Bridges. I think he's a slightly better player. I mean, you're going to lose some defense, but you never know. I mean, now Mikal is not asked to carry such a crazy offensive burden. He might lock back into that Phoenix level type of defense where he was a great defender. So as a Nets fan, I'm happy. This team ran its course, I think, for 2 years. We were middle of the pack the year we traded for him. Then last year we only won about like 32, 33 games. So, this was breaking news. Obviously, I'm really shocked right now. Like I said, we got 4 unprotected first.
Amazing haul.
It's a
Amazing.
haul. It really is a haul.
Because if they waited, man, they're not getting anywhere near that same value. Not
5
even
picks
close.
is crazy.
They got the
seconds.
Knicks at their most desperate moment. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And I do agree that Mikal Bridges is a better player than OG. It's not a knock to OG,
Easily.
but Mikal Bridges is a better offensive player. And then
Far more
at
durable.
Mikal Bridges' ceiling, defensively, you could argue he's just as good because he was that great for Phoenix. And then the durability. You talk about the durability. And Mikal Bridges' contract, he's not on a gigantic contract right now.
248.
248?
2 for 48.
2 for 48. He's getting paid $24 million a year. OG was about to get $40 million, so you're getting a player for $16 million less who's better. I think that's great for the Knicks. The first round picks
Super durable,
that we
too.
traded, what are the first round picks?
2025, 2027, 2029, 2031.
Are they all from the Knicks? Those
No.
are owned from the Knicks.
2025 pick. The first one that's coming up next year, it's the Bucks pick.
Okay.
28.
That's
is
a late first.
They also included 28 unprotected swap. And
Okay.
I believe from what was reported, the other 3 picks are all the Knicks.
Apparently they're all yours.
Well,
No.
that's not a bad.
One's the Bucks.
25, 27, 29.
25 's the Bucks.
They sent 5. One is protected, but that's the Bucks. The other 4 are unprotected.
4 Knicks picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
4 Knicks picks they sent are unprotected.
Oh.
And they sent
So
a
late lottery.
25 protected
Although
Milwaukee
2031
first.
could look funny. I don't know what y'all gonna
fault,
look
Drew.
like in 2031.
So what's gonna happen with Julius Randle now?
Well, he's under contract.
He's still
so-
there.
I think
He's still there?
Julius is staying.
Yeah, I think so. Drew, I'm gonna get you set up right there in a minute, and I'll sit there too after we're finished with this mock draft. But the Bucks pick is a late first rounder. The Knicks ones, those could be late first rounders. 2028. I mean, it's a long time from now. We don't know at that point in time.
2027.
Yeah, facts. The pick that we didn't trade though, we own a Wizards first round pick.
Yes.
Isn't
That
that, like
the
lottery
protection
protected?
it is protected, but the protections go
Lottery?
down after
Okay.
year after year.
Yeah.
So eventually that pick could become good, and I think that's a very valuable one for the future because the 2025 Bucks pick. I mean, come on. I mean, they're gonna be great this year. It's gonna be in the late 20s. So, but it's a great haul for the Nets. That does signal the direction that you guys are going in, and I think that's great. It's a great haul.
It is.
Look.
It is. I mean, it's obviously 2 years from now, but I think if everything goes well, I don't think there should be a problem with Mikal resigning. He's going to be with his best friends that he won a championship with. So Mikal's only 27 or 28 years old, so he definitely fits the timeline of this team. So and we'll see. I mean, this is crazy. It couldn't happen at a more shocking
Kind of fire,
time.
honestly.
No, it really is. It's the Villanova Knicks.
It's a great fit on the court. I think in the playoffs, the Knicks saw we need guys that are going to be durable. For a long time, Andobi was injury prone. And exactly. You're getting a guy who, I don't know if he's missed a game yet in his NBA career. May have been one or two.
No, he hasn't.
Never missed a
Iron
game,
Man.
and he was drafted in 2018. You take it a step further, Bridges with a lower offensive load is going to be a better defender than what he was in Brooklyn. And offensively, he brings feel and creation off the catch and off the dribble that Anunoby simply can't. Anunoby can't do anything off the dribble. He's an amazing shooter, but so is Bridges. But the Mikal Bridges trade does not close the door on the Knicks re-signing OG Anunoby. They traded Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks in this deal. It's $30 million in salary. $10 million is expiring on Alec Burks, but Bridges' contract is just $24 million. So right there, you're taking $4 million, and that's your books. The Knicks are still a $56 million underneath. Let me double check real quick, because this is on I just had.
Re-sign OG.
Give me one second.
We're gonna be different.
Oh,
We're gonna be
I'm
different.
dead
Oh, here I am.
serious.
We're beating
The Knicks
Boston.
can win the fucking
We're
shit.
beating
The
Boston.
Knicks right now are $45 million
Boston
away
is
from
tough, but
$45 million away from the first apron, and $56 million away from the second
Bro,
apron.
If OG resigns, it's up.
With Mikal Bridges, and then you have Isaiah Hartenstein. Mitchell Robinson probably gets traded for salary purposes.
They can
That would
afford
be incredible
Isaiah and
defense.
OG?
If they trade Mitchell Robinson,
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
and again, Bridges' contract is only $4 million more than what Bojan was going to
No, I
be
know
making
that.
this
Yeah, I know
upcoming
that.
I think what we're all saying right
Had the
now is
deepest
that
team in the league.
the Knicks are not done yet.
They shouldn't
And
be.
this is very much still just one piece of the puzzle, because I think they're going to be very active this offseason. For sure. And we'll see, man. But this was a great haul for the Nets. And I think, if anything, what this proved was how coveted Mikal Bridges truly was around the league. I mean, this is a package that the Knicks had to give up to get Mikal. I'm sure that there were other packages on the table.
Grizzlies, there was a rumor Grizzlies offered 5. Houston was trying to offer all our picks back. I mean, again, we don't know how true these all are, but I mean, given that the Knicks just gave up 5 for him, those other ones might have been very well true too. So he's a very coveted player.
And listen, now I feel like this officially ends the Nets and Knicks rivalry, because before this move, when was the last time that they negotiated a trade together?
Good heavens.
Oof, I don't know.
I don't think the Knicks and Nets have ever negotiated a trade. I think
Most
it's
likely
never
have.
happened. This might be the first
They've
time in
definitely
history.
negotiated a trade. Have they done one? I believe recently.
Well, yes, that's what I mean, Sean. You know what I mean. You know, get a trade done.
The way you framed it was
How would we know if they're calling each other
Honestly,
actively?
That's interesting. I would like to know.
So I'm searching up Nets and Knicks trades history.
really good come up for Sean Marks, who was getting shit on for the longest time. He played his cards right. He kind of, I think, fooled most NBA fans into thinking
me.
that
I thought we were running
they're
it
going to
back.
ride Mikal Bridges to the bitter
we were
ends.
running
They're
it
going to
back,
run
yo.
him to his expiring contract and let him
Literally what
walk.
everybody said.
Because if you wait another year, Mikal Bridges would be an expiring contract, and you would get maybe a first-round pick or two.
Damn.
Now you get
yeah, this is gonna
2.5 times that
It's a
amount
little
of
funny. I
package.
wonder how Cam Johnson feels right now.
So,
I think he gets moved next. Maybe a
No,
team
me
like
too. That's
Oklahoma
what I'm
City.
saying. He might get moved next.
Yeah.
okay, there have been 4 trades in NBA history between the Knicks and the Nets.
When was the last one?
Those 4, I'm looking at it right now. I just lost it. Hold up. I'm looking at it. Okay. I got it. So the 4 trades, the last one was in 1983. The last time the Knicks and the Nets traded with each other was in 1983. It was for Len Elmore and Tom Sluby. I mean, we don't know these guys. There's been 4 trades. They happened in 1978, 1981, 1982, and 1983. So this is the first time that the Knicks and the Nets have agreed on a trade in 40 plus years.
Cal wanted to be a Knick.
It's
Wanted to
good.
be
Man,
a-
let's go. Mikal Bridges, let's
Definitely
go.
wanted to be a Knick. I mean, it was obvious, bro.
Okay, so with that, Drew, we can finish up this mock draft. So, JC, you can sit over there, and then we'll finish up this mock draft, and I'll get everything situated for the second half of this show. Currently, fellas, we're on the 18th overall pick in the draft.
Let me get these thoughts off real quick. Yo, this is nuts.
Yes.
I have a lot of mixed emotions. They gave up so many first round picks. I mean, so
Maybe too
many
many.
first round picks. Let's give credit to Brooklyn. for not trading Mikal Bridges for 3 first-round picks to the Houston Rockets. We called them dumb. We called them an organization that did not have direction. There was a legitimate argument for them being the worst franchise in basketball where we stand right now. They get an unbelievable haul of first-round picks from the New York Knicks, and right now they look like geniuses. They finally decided to choose a direction. They got one of the best offers that we could have seen for a player like Mikal Bridges, and now if you're a Nets fan, you should be happy that at least we're going somewhere and we've decided that we are picking a direction. If you're the Knicks, you have to be perfect this offseason.
Oh, another one.
Yep.
Saw it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the new trade?
Brooklyn and Houston to return the Nets 2026 first round pick and 2027 Suns first round pick. Rockets also. Okay.
Was there a player trade?
Rockets acquired 2025 right to swap Houston OKC first for 2025 Suns first round pick.
All right, so
the Suns traded the first round pick.
the Nets are working.
2025. The Rockets have the Suns.
Sean Marks owe an apology, dead ass, because he was ripped to shreds for. And I always thought Sean Marks was a good GM.
I think the Rockets think the Suns are going to blow it up next year.
Because they just traded for the Suns pick that they got from KD. Interesting.
Okay, so basically what this move is all about is the Nets getting their pick in 2026.
Got it.
That's all it's about.
From the Harden trade.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the
they can
Nets
tank.
now own their 2026 first round pick, which now signals that they are trying to be bad in 2026 to get a top end guy in that draft. 2025, we know next year is
That's
going to be
the
a
one.
blue chip draft, but we'll see what happens. But they got their pick back in 2026 for the Suns first round pick in 2027.
And the 2027 Sun. Oh, yeah. The Brooklyn Nets are trading a 2025 Suns pick swap, 2027 Suns first rounder, and a first rounder, and a swap in 2029 to the Rockets for their own pick in 2025 and 2026.
2025 and 2026? Mm-hmm. Okay, now the Nets are legitimately cooking with gasoline.
Yes. You got your 2025 pick back. The Nets got their 2025 pick back.
This is
Wow.
one of the
That's
best
amazing.
moves. This is one of the best moves.
Wow.
Yeah, you gave up basically 2 Suns picks and you got your pick
I'm
back.
being serious. Today is one of the best days if you are a Nets fan, outside of getting KD and Kyrie.
They literally got a package equivalent to trading Kevin Durant, and they got their own first round pick back to tank.
Houston
Sean
also
Marks had a great day.
Houston acquires 2029 more favorable of Dallas and Phoenix first round pick and acquires right to swap Houston first round pick for less favorable Dallas first and Phoenix first. Houston got a lot too. Yeah.
Houston definitely did get a
got
lot, but the
basically
fact
4
that
picks.
the Nets were able to get their picks back and control their fate of, we want to be bad.
Yeah.
We want a chance at Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey. We have it now this upcoming season. Sean Marks
Shout out Dylan Harper.
was flawless today.
Yeah.
Flawless. And a lot of Nets criticism that has been deserved for a while now gets wiped away with one day.
Yeah,
Sean
100%.
Marks was perfect. For the
Yeah.
Knicks, they need to be perfect.
They gotta hit
You
on
now
these picks
just
now.
traded. Well, the Nets, that's true. They do have to hit on these picks. But if you are the Knicks, you just traded away a lot of your future for the Nova Knicks. Now, if you can find a way to bring back OG, you trade Mitchell Robinson, like John was saying, you bring back Isaiah Hartenstein because of the money that they do have freed up. Also, you do have Julius Randle on the roster. There's a lot of avenues for the Knicks to be perfect this offseason. But they need to be perfect. They need to be
Am I
meticulous.
crazy for saying if you're gonna give OG 40 for the timeline, why not just give PG 45?
And Obi's 7 years younger. That's the biggest difference. But
PG's more durable. Not saying he
I don't
is the
know.
most durable.
he played,
Well, listen, if we have
71 games this
McKellen,
year,
if
but I
we
don't
have
really think
McKellen, we
so.
have
I'm saying you
OG.
already have Mikal now.
We could guard.
No,
We could guard
Mikal
the
and
Celtics.
OG can guard Jalen and
Yes.
For sure,
We
for
can,
sure.
we can guard them
For
as
sure.
good as anybody can
And
guard them.
I'm not just exaggerating when I say this. If you have Mikal, if you have OG with Jalen Brunson, with Josh Hart, with Dante DiVincenzo, and probably either one of or both Julius Randle and Isaiah Hartenstein, this is a team that can legitimately contend for a championship.
There's
You
no
knew that.
doubt
They
about
already
it.
were.
This.
Before they got hurt this year.
I don't know about that.
We
I don't
know
know if
about
they were
that.
contending for a
Yes, they
championship
were.
because
They're the
they were
second
not,
best team in the East.
if they were healthy, they were not, but they weren't beating Boston.
Wait, they were what?
Second best team in the East.
Philly was.
but that's
when
not-
OMB was healthy.
I still don't think
Philly
that was
was.
contending for a championship because we
Regular
always knew
standing
Boston was
wise.
the
Okay,
best.
this is something that we're going to
Fuck the
argue.
standings. I don't
Let's
give a
finish
shit
up
what
this
we're
mock
talking about.
Let's
draft.
finish. I just wanted to make sure I
Yes.
got my sense in.
Yeah. So we'll circle back to the topic and talk about it more in depth because I know this is all fresh to us. But the 18th overall pick, who is picking? Is it you, Drew,
John.
or is it you, John?
Yeah, you picked for the
Oh,
Lakers.
I picked for the Lakers. You're right, John. It's on you. 18th
Can you give me
overall
like
pick.
a minute? Because my fanspo crashed a second
Okay,
time.
well you can
You're
look at mine.
Orlando.
I have everybody here. If you want me to scroll down, scroll up. Let me know what you think. The Orlando Magic. What
Okay.
position are you looking at?
I am looking at a shot creator or a shooter. Now, for the Magic, we've talked about them making some moves. Maybe they get themselves a ready-made shot maker. But I see Isaiah Collier on the board here at pick 18, and I think he'd be a massive upgrade off of what they have in Cole Anthony off the bench. And long-term, Isaiah Collier would be a great fit alongside Paolo. He's a physical driver, gets to the rim. Only made about 34% of his threes by buying into it long-term. He's built like a Baron Davis. I think there's a lot of shot creation potential. And long-term for the Magic, you're not going to get a player better upside, especially out the lottery. So Isaiah Collier here at pick 18.
Drew, 19th overall pick, the Toronto Raptors.
The Raptors are another team that do need a lot, unfortunately. Another trade?
No, the Rockets. The reason for the Rockets getting the Suns picks back, they want Kevin Durant, so they want to be able to send the Suns picks back to them for Kevin Durant.
The Rockets trade for KD.
They want to make a move for Kevin Durant.
I just need to see your board because mine's also messed up. All right, for the Toronto Raptors, I'm going to be selecting Tristan Da Silva, a guy that can shoot the basketball, has good defensive instincts. The one thing that he can't do, obviously, would be create and put the ball on the floor. But right now, for Toronto, he doesn't need to do that. Has a good amount of size to him. You can put him in your front court, or you put him on the wing. To me, Tristan Da Silva is a great fit for Toronto and what they're trying to build around Scotty Barnes, which would be putting shooting around him. You do already have RJ. That's going to be an interesting fit where RJ did play really great basketball for the Raptors in his time there. And, of course, Emmanuel Quickly, who really did have himself a solid showing with the Raptors also. I like the direction of what the Raptors are trying to do. They're trying to build around Scotty Barnes, and Da Silva is a way to do that also.
The 20th overall pick goes to you, Rick. You're picking for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. They're in a weird spot because all signs are pointing to Donovan Mitchell staying in Cleveland. Kobe Altman had a post game where he was talking about he does want to keep the core four together. So what are they going to do? Is Allen going to go? Is Garland going to go? Are they going to stay? It's tricky. Their roster currently has Karis LeVert under contract, Max Strus. I think they bring back Isaac. They have George Niang. So they have a lot of guys that are kind of like wings or tweeners. So I think I'm going to have to go with guard here. And I think I'm going to go with Jacoby Walter here. I think I'm going to go for a guy who showed the ability to shoot in stretches, get his own bucket. And you just need that type of scoring. And in case Darius Garland does leave, Jacoby Walter could be like a fill-in at the 2 while Donovan runs the full-time 1.
Okay, with the 21st overall pick, I'm drafting for the New Orleans Pelicans. And they need shooting. I think they need shooting. They need a big man. Yves Misi makes sense here because now they wouldn't have to trade for somebody like Jared Allen. But I feel like at this point in time, Yves Misi, while I think he could develop, I don't know if he'll be ready year 1.
Yeah.
And you want shooting around Zion. And I think with this pick, I'm going with Jared McCain out of Duke.
Ooh, nice pick.
I'm going with him. CJ McCollum, I don't think it's a long-term solution there. Jared McCain can be. And that's what I'm going with.
All right, I do like that selection. Now, here we are, pick 22.
It's not
It's
your
my
turn.
pick.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're good, bro. With the 22nd overall pick for the Phoenix Suns, I am looking at an established, ready-made wing player. So you guys, I'm looking at Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois, and then Bailey Shireman out of
The
Creighton.
old guys. There
And
you go.
quite frankly, we just want to build a good supporting cast or Devin Booker so that he can stay long-term, and we really feel like we're building a contender around him. And I'm going to go here with Bailey Shireman. I think what he brings as a connector, a shooter, and just a ready-made wing player to step into a rotation, play 20 minutes a night already, that's going to be a very nice upgrade off what we previously had.
So let me ask you something, John. Kevin Durant, we just got this report that the Rockets are trying to pursue him, right? And they're trying to give the Suns their picks back so they could get Kevin Durant. Knowing that, Tyler Kolek doesn't come into mind.
As
A point guard.
backup point guard,
As a starting point guard.
as a starting
Your
point guard.
vest didn't come into your mind? He's still on the board.
That's who I was going to select for the Suns. But
Not a bad
you're
idea.
saying Baylor.
Bailey. Baylor. Sorry,
the
I
sharp-
kept
the
saying
sharpshooter.
Bailey. Baylor.
Because you
Sharman.
drafted him Doug McDermott right here.
I think he's a better overall offensive player than Doug McDermott
Ooh,
the
Doug was a
passing.
Doug was a bucket. He's
25
called
point per
Dougie
game
McBucket.
in
bucket.
the NBA.
Oh, okay.
Well, we know what Baylor's going to be in the NBA.
I
but
kept saying Bailey. Baylor. Sharman.
Baylor.
There you go.
Good pick, John.
So at pick 23, I do have the Milwaukee Bucks, and maybe I'm over exaggerating the idea that they do need defense, but they do need fucking defense. They put together a pretty bad showing
know who
last
you're gonna
season. You know who I'm going 100%. I am going with Ryan Dunn. To me, this is the best wing defender in the class. He was unbelievable in college at Virginia. He can block shots. Obviously, is very active in the lanes. His issue is his offense. It's bad. It's really bad. It has to get worked on, no doubt about it. But as a perimeter defender, Ryan Dunn would be the selection, no doubt about it, and that's what I'm going with.
Crying. They were trying to convince him right now.
To do the trade right now.
Yes, today. They were trying to convince them as we speak.
Today's an awesome day.
Yeah.
Convince Mikal.
I think
or
it's a mistake for the
KD?
Rockets to go after
I
Kevin Durant.
agree. Feel like we should talk about that after this.
We will.
But for sure.
The 24th overall pick.
That's me.
Are you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Please
I'm going to
pick
do
the-
you right.
Yes, please.
Because he's right there
Yes,
sitting there. And
It's an easy decision.
this is today. We have Mikal Bridges on the team. We're thinking about OG. I don't know if we'll have money to get Hartenstein, but we're thinking about trading Mitch. So I'm going to go with that boy from Baylor, man. Let's get him in here,
So
man.
let me ask you a
Thank
question.
God.
They did not trade one of these picks, correct? The Knicks did not trade one of these picks.
If it's 2024, it's no.
No.
Fat.
They traded
So they
23.
held both of these picks.
They had to.
I mean, this is a
Damn,
weak
people
draft.
don't care about this draft at
they
all,
don't.
bro.
This draft is awful.
All right, so we're going to Vesmisi, correct?
And the Knicks have the 25th
They do have
overall
25.
pick. So I have this pick right here. Hey, listen, man. I'm a Tyler Kolek guy. I know we got Deuce McBride off the bench. Just with the lineup we have now, let's say we bring back OG and Hartenstein. Maybe we just bring back one of them. But Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG, Julius Randle, Hartenstein off the bench. Dante, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride. You kind of want Yves Misi. We drafted him with the 24th overall pick. You kind of want some size. You also want a bucket getter. I'm going to go with Terrence Shannon Jr. with this pick. The 25th
That's a
overall
great,
pick.
fantastic fit for the Knicks. I was going to take him at 26.
Great minds think alike.
I fumbled with the last pick. I won't
Shocker.
lie. I should have took Invest
You should have.
but
That's okay.
we make mistakes.
Bro's gonna
And
fumble right here.
With
Here we go.
the next pick, I'm going to make a fantastic selection. Can you scroll to the guards available on the board? That's really what
Yes,
I'm looking
point
at
guard,
here.
shooting guard.
Shooting guard as well, please. And I'm looking at Keyshawn George. For the Wizards here, I think your wings are solidified, especially Kyle Kuzma still on the roster. So we're going to go with Keyshawn George here at the 2. Just adding a player to really round out our backcourt with Jordan Poole technically as that starting point guard.
I would have reached with AJ here.
Really?
AJ Mitchell.
AJ Johnson. Yeah, I would have reached.
Now, Minnesota's here with the next pick at pick 27. Interesting team because I do feel like they need offense. They need someone that can score the basketball. They need shooting. I want to go Johnny Furphy here. I don't love the rest of the guys on the board. The only guys that I would be considering would be Deron Holmes, truthfully.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Deron
I didn't know he was
Holmes-
still on the
yeah,
board.
he is
I thought he was gone.
I'm pretty sure he still is on the
He's
board.
definitely
He
still on
is.
the board.
Okay.
Bro, it's crazy.
Duran, I'm either between Duran or Johnny, and I feel like with Minnesota right now, they do need a little bit more offense. A little bit. I'm gonna go with Johnny.
Johnny Furphy. Riv, the 28th overall pick, the Denver Nuggets.
Ooh.
Take
Could
Deron-
lose
Take
KCP.
Deron Holmes here, please.
I get the Denver Nuggets. This one's tricky because I feel like best player available is Deron
It
Holmes.
is.
Tyler Smith is cool, but we still have Peyton Watson. We have Christian Brown. They're still Peyton for sure is still a wing we're trying to develop.
Riv, make the right pick.
I'll
here.
be honest. Duran would fit perfectly with
I think
the
Duran. It's either between Duran or Tyler. But I'll go Duran here.
because I feel like learning with Aaron Gordon on the team, obviously, is like similar play styles to me. That he could help him develop in that system.
You know who? I think it was Ben Pfeiffer on Twitter made this comparison for Deron Holmes. It was Naz Reid with their ability to actually put the ball on the floor and create and get to the rim, and he's got that shooting upside. And I just think as a backup big to Jokic, those non-Nikola Jokic minutes would be so much better if you have someone who can eat some innings so you can really actually create some offense.
I'm really not comfortable with Tyler Smith's falling this far, man.
The 29th overall pick, the Utah Jazz. Who was their selection that we made for them? I'm forgetting from earlier.
It says it right there.
Where does
Stephon
it?
Castle.
Okay, Stephon
Big time.
Castle.
That
So
brother
you got a
is
guard.
smacked.
I'm going to go with Tyler Smith.
Yes.
Tyler Smith, upside pick, 29th overall. That's what I'm going with.
Attaboy. With the 30th pick,
You're good, John. Keep going.
what'd I do?
Don't listen to him. Just make your pick, bro.
You said attaboy. That's why he's laughing.
Is it really that funny? Yeah, shoot your Sean over here
It's
laughing at the stupid
that
shit.
sounds like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I don't know what you're saying. Not even
you do. Just think.
remotely.
He's saying
30th pick, John. Go.
With the last pick of the first round for this mock draft, the Boston Celtics will be selecting
Kevin McCullough.
what?
Never mind.
Bronny James?
See what Bill Simmons said?
No, I didn't.
He said we could take him and hold him hostage at the Lakers. They give us a larger trade return for Brownie, like say Austin Reeves or Brownie. So we'll hold him hostage by drafting him. And again, could
Screw
trade
Bill
value out of him.
Simmons.
Anyways, I will be taking Bobby Clinton staring at me, and I like his play style as a raw prospect that can pass, make shots, has some good defensive upside. He reminds me of a better version of Zeke Naji, and I don't know who else I'd take here. Can you scroll to the
Attaboy.
thank you.
You already made your pick.
You didn't click on it.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Nah, I
saying
get
Kevin
it.
McCullough.
Yeah, Kevin
Griff,
McCullough.
talk to me. Would you take someone over Bobby Clinton here? Because I like him a lot. He's one
Well,
of my
Kevin
guys.
McCullough, if the shot's sticking, it's cool. Good defender, good playmaker. He isn't. It's not reliable. It should be at his age. But he's a senior. The experience is there.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to go on upside play here long term.
yeah,
I
you
like
might as
Bobby.
well
You like
because
Bobby?
Boston really has everything. You know, so
Literally everything.
they're probably gonna bring back Tillman. He was great for them. Sam Howell's
really
gonna
good.
get more minutes. Peyton Pritchard's gonna get more. So upside is probably the way to go.
Bobby Clinton.
Okay, we'll go with Bobby Clinton. Then, well, you're going Bobby, you said.
Yep.
Okay, good, John.
Clinton.
Okay, and that's going to do it for our first round mock draft. I'm not going to pain you guys and read every single name we made.
Please don't.
We will just take a snapshot of it, a screenshot, and we'll post it on Twitter after. And that is our
Which we can like
2024
put the names.
first round mock
Bro,
draft.
we're going to make it difficult on John when he edits this later. This is our mock draft right here. It's on the screen right now.
I can make a basic edit. Don't underestimate my skill.
All right, now we're moving on.
Took a quick break in the show to transition right now. We got Drew right there sitting in the producer's chair. Give it a clap for him. And we got JC here. We had some breaking news break just now, but we had a scheduled program with topics that actually aren't too far off from the actual trade itself happening. We'll talk about the trade more in depth because I know before it was a little bit of an instant reaction. The Cavaliers hired Kenny Atkinson. How do you guys feel about the move? Who do you think benefits the most from this hire? JC, you're very familiar with Kenny Atkinson. He was coaching the Nets for 4 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about this hire for them?
I think it's a good hire for Cleveland. You know, I think this is gonna benefit Evan Mobley the most in terms of becoming a better 3-point shooter because I remember Brook Lopez's last year as a Net. That's when he really started taking a step back and expanding his game from the 3-point line, and you can see what it's done for him today. So Evan Mobley, like if he can get a 3-point shot, his game, his offensive game, it just takes this team, it propels this team to another level. He definitely has the tools to do it. I think Kenny Atkinson will definitely emphasize more 3-point shooting. He's a very analytically heavy head coach. Cleveland's gonna shoot a ton of threes. There's familiarity there with a couple players. Obviously, he coached Karis LeVert, Jared Allen as well. I like the hire. I think that he can help Darius Garland as well get back to his all-star form.
I'm with it. We're with it.
Yeah. I kind of see this as kind of like how he managed D'Angelo Russell in a way. He got the most out of D'Lo. I think he can get the most out of Darius Garland. I like this hire. He came from Golden State's coaching tree, so he learned a lot there. He learned a lot there. So I think this is a great hire for them. I mean, I might be a little biased because he was one of my favorite Nets coaches. But yeah, like I said, I think this is going to benefit Evan Mobley the most out of anybody. I think that we are going to see a different Evan Mobley offensively, and I think I was telling you the other day, don't be surprised if Evan Mobley takes about 4 to 5 threes a game, because Kenny Atkinson is really going to emphasize 3-point shooting. Like, he loves it. So I like the hire. I do.
This is one of the more unique hires because there's so much more to learn about Kenny Atkinson. Remember, in Brooklyn, he only got to coach one playoff series with that team in 2019 before getting fired. He was wrongfully fired. This is a guy that
100%.
developed so many different players. And as you mentioned for the Cavaliers, there's a lot of guys who maybe it feels like they've stagnated in their growth, especially on the offensive end. And with Atkinson, I think you can improve as a coach. Spent a year with Tyronn Lue in 2021, and now the Warriors the last 3 years. And he gets a group built around Donovan Mitchell with decent rotation players, decent core players around Donovan, where it's the best team he's ever coached. And I think a large part of Cleveland is they had a big defensive buy-in this last year for JB Bickerstaff, but it's always been in the half court. Can they elevate and take it to a higher level than what it's been in past years, especially in the postseason? I would give this a higher, a B plus. And again, I still think we got to see how Atkinson looks with more playoff series under his belt. Probably not going to be a great playoff coach, but I think he is a good one, and he was more than deserving. Again, a job. It was a matter of time.
Yeah, I think this was a great hire. You mentioned Evan Mobley. He attempted 1.2 threes this past year, shot 37% on them, 37.5%. If he could stay around that efficiency and take 5, that's a huge boost to Cleveland's offense. And I think the most important part about this hire is that Kenny Atkinson is a pace and space coach. You look at the Nets, even when they were bad, the years that Kenny Atkinson coached them outside of the final year, because that was a wash season, Kyrie was hurt, and he was let go. The three full years, 4th in 3-point attempts, 2nd in 3-point attempts, and 5th in 3-point attempts. 1st in pace, 6th in pace, and 11th in pace. He's going to push the tempo. He's going to take up and make his team shoot a lot of threes. And I feel like that's important for a team like Cleveland, who they're trying to maximize Donovan Mitchell as much as possible. And to maximize him and to compete with the NBA, you need to be able to shoot a lot of threes and defend and have a tough-minded head coach. And I feel like that's what Kenny Atkinson does.
Yeah, I think it really all depends on who's going to be on the roster. I do like the hire. I think this move was made mostly thinking about Evan Mobley's future. And towards late of the year, he started to take a lot more threes, specifically corners. In the playoffs, you saw him take a couple more. And the form looks nice. The form looks like it's there. He looked a little bit consistent at times. He needs to just be a better offensive player. I think Kenny Atkinson will help that. With the Garland thing, I don't know if he'll benefit because I don't know if he's going to stay. That's really all dependent on how that looks. But I think going in a new direction with a guy who's more of a player development coach, I think it is a different hire, and I do like the hire. Maximizing Donovan Mitchell is the most important thing, especially if you're going to extend them for 4 years. But I do think, especially coming in, you're bringing in another player in the draft. Kenny Atkinson will be able to work with him well. So I'm with John on this. I'll give it a B plus. I do like Kenny Atkinson. I'm curious to see what direction Cleveland goes and whether they keep the big four together or they trade Jared Allen and Garland.
I guess the other I forgot, honestly.
Forgot he was here.
Bro, Drew's chill in the corner. One of the biggest questions, I guess, with this is I think Atkinson's a good coach. I also think JB Bickerstaff's a solid one. I don't know if firing Bickerstaff's going to change anything for this team. Do you guys think Atkinson's actually a better coach or an upgrade?
I think JB's a better coach, but Atkinson might be better for what specific players on the team need.
If Atkinson can get the most out of Garland, can get the most out of Mobley, can make Mobley be the three-point shooter that JC says that is possible, then this is an amazing hire. Garland and Riv, you and I go back and forth on Garland. John, you also are in that group as well.
Damn right.
If he's not going to be on the roster, it's going to be weird to see the way that Kenny Atkinson can thrive, especially if it's solely in Evan Mobley's hand. If Evan Mobley is and turns into a great offensive player, then Kenny Atkinson, great job. But all in all, you saw the way that, let me not say they struggled because the Magic are a great team in their own right. It was a difficult series versus the Orlando Magic, and then versus the Celtics, you simply went up against a much better team. It really doesn't have much to do with Kenny Atkinson, more so it has to do with roster construction. I think, Riv, you're spot on there. They still have their ways to go with this roster before becoming a true contending team. And there's moves to be made, whether that's moving Donovan to be the true one on the squad. You go and you get, because the rumors are circulating that it could be Brandon Ingram for Darius Garland, have him play your 3, then you have Evan Mobley play the 4 and Jared Allen play the 5. It's just there's too much that the Cavaliers have to overcome for me to look at and think that Kenny Atkinson will be to blame or to get a lot of credit unless they decide to go on a run. And that's more so a testament to these other teams in the East, like the Knicks, who obviously we just had a whole aneurysm with Mikal Bridges getting traded to them, with the idea that OG Anunoby can re-sign with them. You still have to respect the reigning champions, who are, in my opinion, the reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers, to me, become, we may not say irrelevant, but not a huge deal, because the Boston Celtics are most likely going to run the East. And it's just going to be a uphill battle for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But shout out to Kenny getting back to the head coaching scene. Obviously, that's a huge deal that he's been away for a little while. And I feel like he was wrongfully fired from the Brooklyn Nets when he actually was one of the main reasons for the player development that intrigued Kyrie and KD to want to join the Nets in the first place. They kind of let him, develop the baby and then said, yeah, you're not the parent anymore, you got to go. So that was pretty shitty of the Nets organization, but shout out to Kenny for getting a second chance.
No, it wasn't. That's why I think it's good for Kenny to get a second chance. I feel like the biggest question mark right now with Cleveland is who's going to be on the roster next year.
Yeah.
Is Garland going to be there still? Is Jared Allen going to be there still? If Evan Mobley develops a jump shot, I think Jared Allen's outlook staying on the team, it becomes much better because now you have a floor that's more spaced out.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think Garland and Jared Allen will both be here next year because we've seen with this team, this core 4 in the regular season is going to lead you to a really high floor. But it's all about maximizing that playoff equity. And I think a large part of their issue has just been they need to get more depth and they need to get more two-way players. It just feels like there's too many one-dimensional players in Cleveland. It's really hard to build around 2 undersized guards and then 2 non-shooting bigs and then win a championship, especially in this Eastern Conference. And I think they get limited in some of those ways. Like, offensively, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are going to limit you. And defensively, same exact thing can be said for their backcourt. So I have a hard time seeing a run back. And I guess one more thing, too, it's interesting. Atkinson almost became the Hornets coach in 22. Would you rather be the Hornets coach or the Cavaliers coach the next 5 years?
Like now?
Yeah, like moving forward to like 2027 or 2029.
I think it would probably be the Cavs.
I'm asking because LaMelo and Brandon Miller versus Donovan Mitchell, and really, what if Donovan leaves? A very uncertain future here in Cleveland.
LaMelo, his future is uncertain, to be honest with you. Is he going to want to stay with Charlotte long term? Is he going to be healthy enough to stay with Charlotte long term? Brandon Miller is intriguing. Obviously, he's unbelievable, especially as a rookie for what he showed you. Mark Williams, I feel like he's a guy that gets left out of these conversations because he was hurt a majority of last season. There's upside with the Hornets, but their best player, in my opinion, is unreliable because he can't stay on the court as of right now. So I would rather be the Cleveland Cavaliers for that reason.
I feel like it broke your heart to say that about Melo.
You know my opinion on LaMelo. I love him like a brother, but at the same time, he can't stay on the court. But when he's on the court, shit, that guy is one of one.
The last topic of this show that has now been moved up is OG Anunoby leaving the Knicks? And we still don't have the answer to that right now, but just to recap the news that we got earlier, the Nets agreed to trade Mikal Bridges to the Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic, a first-round pick, unprotected first in 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2023, and a 2025 protected Milwaukee first-round pick, and a 2028 unprotected pick swap, and a 2025 second-round pick. The Nets got a haul back for Mikal. The New York Knicks now have Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. It's called the Villanova Knicks for a reason. Now, this is a two-part question for you guys. Do you think that with this move, the Knicks can now compete with Boston next year? What do you think about Mikal Bridges, how he fits with New York, and if they'll be able to re-sign OG Anunoby? And I'm looking at my fellow Knicks guy across the room right now, and Mr. Drew, you got the Knicks jacket right behind you. And what do you think about it?
We need OG back. First things first, we need OG back in the building for the fact that we can pair Mikal and OG to guard these wings on the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. there's something about being built to beat a certain team, and we saw that with Minnesota and the Denver Nuggets, where Minnesota wasn't able to ultimately get the job done and move on to the finals, but they were built to beat the Denver Nuggets. Now, if you look at the roster construction of the New York Knicks, if they were to retain an OG Anunoby, this is a team that is constructed to beat the Boston Celtics. I don't know if I would go full blown and say that 100% the Knicks would go to the finals, but it becomes a big coin toss depending on the following moves made by the Knicks. It would be Jalen Brunson. You'd have Dante DiVincenzo, off the bench Josh Hart, running the 3, you'd have Mikal Bridges, power forward. I'm more than okay with running OG at the 4 and then at the 5 with the idea that most likely you will be losing Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson and or Julius Randle, and then off the bench you can have Mitchell Robinson play the 5 off the bench. Like I mentioned, Josh Hart off the bench, Deuce McBride off the bench. This is a deep roster from the New York Knicks that has star power with great defensive versatility. It's all about bringing OG back, though. If you do not bring back OG, this offseason becomes a failed one, in my opinion. Mikal is a great player. I think he's a great complementary piece. We saw that with the Phoenix Suns already, but you gave up 6 potential first-round picks to acquire Mikal Bridges. You are going all in on this window that you have with Jalen Brunson being one of the best players in the league. You need to maximize it. You need to not be hesitant on giving guys like OG Anunoby top dollar and $40 million a season, because this is your window to compete. It's been a while since we've been talking about the Knicks being true contenders for a championship. You've already decided to go all in with one move of trading 6 firsts for Mikal Bridges to recreate the Nova Boys back in New York, but now the next step in that is bringing OG back, and the next step in that would be solidifying that front court. But this was a great move, I would say, all in all, from the New York Knicks bringing in Mikal Bridges, but it will only be a perfect move if OG Anunoby does resign.
You don't trade 5 first-round picks and a second-round pick if you aren't going all in to win a championship. You don't go all in to win a championship if you let a player of OG Anunoby's caliber walk in free agency for nothing and have a chance to join another contender who can now maybe haunt you if you guys meet up again. The Knicks were 20-3 with OG Anunoby, and it's no question how elite he is as a defender, what he means to New York, averaging almost 15 points per game. Mikal Bridges in Phoenix was a great role player, came second in Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. He's an awesome wing defender. He's gotten much better offensively since that point. I feel as if the Knicks made this trade to now bring in a second, third scorer for Jalen Brunson, because it could be Julius Randle one night. It could be Mikal Bridges one night, who's carrying the other load. We got DiVincenzo. I mean, we got a lot of good players. I feel as if we all know Mikal Bridges can still play defense at a high level, but if you bring OG back, you now put less stress on Mikal Bridges on the defensive side of the court. He's able to be maximized offensively while still being able to be locked in on defense in certain crucial possessions. I feel like this was a great trade. You now have Brunson, Mikal, OG, and Anunoby. That's one of the best wing duos in the league. Julius Randle, All-Star Isaiah Hartenstein. He might not come back, but we still have Mitchell Robinson, and there's centers in this draft that we could potentially draft. We still have a first-round pick in 2024. The Knicks arguably got the best bench in the NBA, and we got 3 all-star players, and Jalen Brunson, Randle, and Mikal Bridges, because I think Mikal Bridges is an all-star caliber player, Riv. Yes, he is. You better respect Mikal Bridges. And I know that...
I was trying to figure out where you was going
I know that the Suns version of Mikal is what's in everybody's head, and they probably look at the Nets tenure as empty stats, but no. When he left Phoenix, he was getting much better, and he was averaging 18 a game, even with D-Book on the court. D-Book and Chris Paul kind of were hurt in that time period, but they were winning games, and he was scoring points, and he was very efficient for them. With the Nets, he had to carry the whole load. But now with Jalen Brunson on the team, I mean, these guys have won a championship before in the college ranks. And I just have a feeling that they're going to win a championship in the professional ranks too, as a group, as a unit. The Step Brothers podcast. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Knicks, man. This is a great move. This is a great day for the Knicks.
You tried to sneak the all-star shit, and I respect that.
That was wicked.
For starters, definitely. It was a good move. Definitely a little crazy
I've been
with the draft haul. Definitely overpaid for sure. But sometimes you gotta overpay if you want to win the big one. You know, sometimes you gotta overpay if you want to get the right move. And I do think this was the right move for you guys. This is all like Drew emphasized. I think it's an important piece. This all doesn't matter if OG doesn't come back. You know, because I think Mikal would be dope as the number 2 defender. I still think he's gonna have to check guys. But I think really this only matters against Boston. You know, I think realistically you get OG back, you're probably the number 2 team in the East. You're going to be talking about the Knicks versus Boston probably all year. That's going to be tough. I do think bringing Hartenstein back would be dope too, but you have the 2 first-round picks. You know, you do have the luxury of having Mitch on a pretty cheap deal. You know, and you still have Jalen Brunson, who just had arguably an All-NBA first-team like year. So this was a good move for the Nets. Finally picking a direction, you know, finally going with the straight rebuild, getting a haul back, continuing to make more moves. And you have other players that you can move off of to get more picks. And I think the Nets finally realizing this direction, you know, where reports have been, we're going to build around Mikal Bridges. I'm glad those were all fake. And I'm glad they decided to go that route. I do think OG, Bridges, they provide that 2-wing tandem on defense that's going to be really tough for teams. My only problem would be for the Knicks is outside of Jalen Brunson, is Mikal a legit creator for them? That's going to be the only situation for them. But defensively, I think they'll be fine. And Julius Randle in the playoffs, is he going to show up? We didn't unfortunately get that question answered this year because he did get hurt. So that's, you know, having Randle, having Mikal, who's going to show up for them in that second to third spot. But all in all, this is a great move for the Knicks. I like the lineups that they can put out there. I'm excited to see how they play.
There's so many different parts of this trade. I think one thing that's absolutely huge to talk about is you don't trade Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett for just 23 games of OG Anunoby. The Knicks currently buy spot rack with $45 million underneath the first apron and $56 under the second. I look at this trade for the Knicks. Let's say OG Anunoby walks for nothing in free agency. You lose him. You still upgrade off him with Mikal Bridges because you're getting a durable version of OG. In the postseason, he was not around when he got eliminated by the Pacers in round 2. You're also getting another shot creator. And I think Mikal Bridges as a third option offensively fits perfectly in. In Phoenix, he was a third option. And like you mentioned before, he's gotten better in the in-between space, a decent decision maker, and just an amazing off-ball player. And if he's going to play every single night, you're going to get that high-level to elite off-ball defense and, of course, on the ball, one of the best defenders in the NBA. But there's one huge part of this. I think this is what it comes down to. The Knicks looked at the Celtics and said, we need to beat them. And the best way to do that is by having Mikal Bridges guarding Jason Tatum and then OG Anunoby on Jaylen Brown. Then at times you could throw Josh Hart and Deuce McBride on those guys. But they looked at the Celtics duo, and Dante DiVincenzo is another good defender, and said,
small.
we need, okay, but for a possession or two, he's fine on a switch. They looked at the Celtics and said, we need to defend them. And specifically, with these 2 wing defenders, we now officially can. I think Julius, Dante DiVincenzo is your 4, and then Mikal Bridges your 3 is enough offense for the Knicks to win a championship. It just comes down to this team staying healthy. They went down 6 rotation players this postseason. The name of the game is staying healthy. You're, of course, not going to win. But if they do, I think this team can easily win a championship.
You know, before you go, JC, the Knicks were going to make the conference finals this year.
I agree.
Even with
100%.
Julius Randle
100%.
not being hurt and OG Anunoby being a little bit hobbled, we were still going to make the conference finals this year. Dante and Josh Hart now go to the bench. And Julius Randle and Mikal Bridges are starters for us with OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson. The Knicks have done a perfect job trying to build a championship roster around Jalen Brunson. When you're building around a smaller guard like this who is a second-team All-NBA performer, could have been first team. He was one of the 6 best players in the NBA this season. This is the ideal roster. Wing defenders, shooters, spacing, creation, great bench. And they're doing a great job at building around him and making sure that he has a chance to lead the Knicks to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, this trade for the Knicks, I think it's a great trade. This kind of reminded me, even though it's like we're a couple years removed, but this kind of reminds me of how everybody in the Western Conference was just looking at Golden State dominate, and Houston was like, nah, we're going to assemble a team that can compete with these guys and push them to the limit. And there was, a couple of times there was one year the series went to game 7, 3-2, Chris Paul got hurt. But while everybody in the West was just like, man, let's just punt these next 4 years, Houston was very adamant on going all in to try to take that team down. Obviously, it wasn't successful, but I'm getting the same vibes with this trade from the New York Knicks. If you can bring back OG Anunoby, like we were saying, you have two of the best wing defenders. You have Mikal Bridges, when he's locked in, is a great defender. OG Anunoby, he's a fantastic defender. In isolation, I think he was holding people to like 37% when he was
the best
the prime,
isolation defender in basketball.
the best isolation defender in basketball. The Knicks were definitely going to go to the ECF last year. I mean, their whole team was just depleted. But this team's perfect. I mean, you got Jalen Brunson, who's an elite scorer. Now you got Mikal Bridges, who on the Nets, first stint in 27 games, averaged 27. I'm not saying he's going to average 27, but Mikal Bridges can get you 18 to 21 points per game. I do believe that. Julius Randle, we know he's a good scorer. Like John said, the name of the game is for the Knicks to stay healthy. But across the board, this is the perfect roster construction to take down a team like Boston. We can sit here and say you overpaid or whatever, but if you want a chance at a championship, sometimes you have to overpay. Hopefully for you guys, it doesn't end up like how the Nets were with our big three or whatever, and it just blew up in our face. But this is a trade that I know every Knicks fan is on board with right now. I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I'm on board with this trade. This team is sensational. Great coaching. You got elite shooters. Like, this roster is fantastic. So I think this is a great trade for the Knicks. Now, looking at it from the Nets' point of view, I'm just ecstatic that we got our future back from the James Harden trade. I'm ecstatic that we got, I believe, 5 picks from you guys, 4 unprotected. I'm just ecstatic that we finally picked a direction. Like Riv was saying, man, those reports that Mikal Bridges, we were going to build around him. Thank goodness that didn't happen, because I was going into next season. Not going to lie, I wasn't watching the Nets last year. They were so boring, and it was just terrible. So I'm glad that we got what we got from Mikal Bridges. I think it's a win-win for both teams. The Nets are going to be really bad for like the next 3 to 4 years. The Knicks went all in, and as a fellow Nets fan, may luck be on your side. May health be on the Knicks side this year. And I'm really looking forward to, if they make it to the ECF versus Boston, both teams are healthy. That's a dogfight.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'm not going to be a hater, though. I would still slightly lean Boston, but I can see a world where the Knicks can take them down. So I like this move for the Knicks a lot.
As a Net fan, what comes to mind when you hear the Nets got 9 first-round picks and then some for Kevin Durant?
You know what's funny is we were just here yesterday. I was saying, like, man, we traded Kevin Durant, Kyrie.
You said
James
what?
Harden.
You said the Nets are the... Finish the sentence.
Oh, yeah. I said we were the worst ran franchise in the NBA. Like, that's how I was feeling. That's how I was feeling 24 hours ago, because I'm just thinking, looking back at the trade, I'm like, damn, man, we lost 3 Hall of Fame level talents, and all we got is Mikal Bridges back. Like, we didn't get any young rising all-star, nothing. Yeah. 24 hours later, we got essentially 9 picks for Kevin Durant. We got 5 for Mikal Bridges. A lot of people deem him as a role player. I'm not going to relegate him to that. I think he is a borderline all-star level player. He's definitely gotten better, especially offensively. He's maximized.
He's good.
His game's gotten much better. So yeah, I'm forced to take back my comment.
Not the worst run franchise?
No, not anymore. No way.
So you're
especially
speaking
getting
on
that
it now.
2025, 2026 pick from Houston. Like, I'm ecstatic right now.
Yeah.
We have a direction finally.
Sean Marks has redeemed himself.
Big time.
He already was proven that he was one of the better GMs, because the Nets didn't have top picks in the 20s. They would draft good players.
Jared
and
Allen,
you became an attractive destination to get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So with the Nets, 4 protected first, 1 first-round pick. You got 5 first-round picks, second-round pick for Mikal Bridges. You got back your 2026 first rounder
2025
from the Rockets and you gave up the Suns 2027 first round pick, and then you got your 2025 first round pick back. So the Nets essentially now, they own their future. And this by default, I mean, I feel like we could play musical chairs with this roster, because Dennis Schroeder could be on the move in a trade. Cameron Johnson could be on the move in a trade. You probably bring back Nick Claxton, I think.
Yeah,
you still probably bring him back.
DFS can be gone.
Yeah, he can be gone too. But this leads in perfectly to this Nets topic. Cam Thomas. He's the guy on the Nets now. He's the guy that's going to lead them into this rebuild. He's the main scoring option.
Watch your mouth.
Better than Austin Reeves.
And after this season, he averaged 23, 3, and 3 on 55.4% true shooting percentage. Just going to ask you guys, is Cameron Thomas empty stats, or is he a rising star?
No,
Rich coming from the Laker fan over here.
Good God, no.
Kyle Kuzma's never had a season as good as what Cam Thomas just did, buddy.
I just, you know what I just hate? I hate how you guys make exceptions for certain players saying they can get better, but you're putting a ceiling on a 22-year-old who was gradually getting better as the season progressed. So, I mean,
He was in the 36th percentile.
it is
true
what it
shooting.
is, though. I mean, if you watch, if you watch the games, he was definitely getting better. He was definitely making.
What was
extra
Kobe
passes.
White?
Rich coming from a Cam Thomas,
I don't
Cam
know,
Reddish
to be
fan.
honest.
Because
Oh,
Kobe
true shooting.
Kobe White just came
yeah.
second in MIP voting. He averaged 19, 5, and 5
might run
and shot
with that
57% true shooting. Cam Thomas didn't do something that far off from what Kobe White did, but Kobe White got praised as he should for his season. But people just overlook what Cam Thomas did. Like he didn't do something very impressive for a player his age. And the scoring arsenal he has, I mean, he's a great scorer. He's a great scorer.
He's one of the
He's a very
premier
good three-level
microwave
scorer,
scorers in the game.
Sure.
And this
Stat
is
watching, Drew. I'm over here stat
Brother.
watching.
This brother.
right now. You know what? Let's read
fuck the stats. He's constantly getting yanked out the game by
Bro,
Jock
Bro,
Vaughn the entire
Jock
season.
Vaughn had him on a
you
short
need to use
leash.
context
Oh my
here
god!
when watching these
That's
Nets
what I'm
games.
saying. They're not watching these games.
I think
bro.
a
They're not
large
watching
part
these
of it
games.
was
22, 7 essentially. Hold on, 4 assists, 2.7 turnovers. The 52 EFG shot 34% from 3 and 46% from the field. Let's go find his true shooting really quick. He shot.
Yeah, he's talking about
He
Cam
was pretty
Thomas.
cool in the
Said
mid range.
seven.
He was bad at the rim,
Oh
though.
wow, 55% true shooting. Guess that player.
Cam Thomas.
Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, shit.
I was gonna say that.
Call
I heard
me.
the 7. I'm like, that's not Cam.
Well,
Thomas
that's a 4
rebounding.
compared to a 6'3 guy. 6'10 versus 6'3, and y'all have the same
Brother.
true shooting?
This is Cam Thomas in his first year as a starter, man.
Is
The player that we're trying to gas up.
Who? Kyle Kuzma. Nobody's
You mean
gassing
Cam
up Kyle
Thomas?
Kuzma.
He meant Cam.
He's
Oh, my
basically
fault. My
like-
fault. I thought I was about to say.
Listen, Cam Thomas is never going to be someone that you run your offense through and get efficient results out of.
So
but
then that kind of defeats that kind of answers your question.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. But I think he is right now one of the best microwave scorers in the game that can be a number 2 perimeter creator on a decent offense. And when you talk about young players in the NBA, he always kind of gets scoffed at because when he came into the league, obviously has this issue with tunnel vision and altogether passing. Something he's marginally improved, not a whole lot, but in the second half of last year,
Getting
he
better.
slowly started to because if he didn't, Jock Vaughn's going to take him out of the game a lot of the time, especially if the shot wasn't going in. And he is a very streaky player. There's no denying that. But for a player that young to be showcasing as much volatility as a scorer as he has, he's a special scorer. Joel's right when he talks about it. You watch, and that's probably way more than you should be. And I think altogether, when you look at Cam Thomas's game, he needs to get a lot more respect. He's easily a top 12 shooting guard, and he can be one
John,
of
can I
the
ask you a
10 best
question?
players at that position.
Can I ask you a question? You just told us to our face that he's not a guy that you can run your offense through.
As number one,
As
not
a
many
number-
guys
Yes,
can.
no, I understand. The question is, are his stats empty calorie stats? Is he not, for quote unquote, primarily the number 1 in Brooklyn?
Now he is.
Now he is.
So if he goes out there and he puts up 23 to 24 points per game, are they not going to be empty stats?
I don't know. I feel like this question can be answered if he's surrounded by a team that's a playoff certified playoff team. I think this, like with the
He's probably-
situation that the Nets are in right now, kind of like deemed or like ruined this entire question. Like if he was on a team that was,
Is
Put him on the
picked to make the
Lakers.
Is
playoffs.
he
LA
not Malik
alongside.
Monk?
He's
Malik Monk's a good
Talking
player.
about, like, in terms
He's
of
a
role?
Malik
very
Monk's a good
In
player.
terms of role, is
But
he not
people
Malik
wouldn't.
Monk?
But that's
Yeah.
what
I
I'm
don't think
saying. but
nothing wrong with that.
People
Yeah.
wouldn't bat their
I'm
eyes and
with
say
that.
Malik Monk's a good player though.
they're on the
Yeah,
same
he
is
exact
a
tier.
good player.
No, yeah, because he contributes
Cam
for a
Thomas
winning team.
can be a good player.
Gotta
Well,
shoot.
he's a good player right now.
Yeah, you guys are putting a ceiling on a guy that's 22 years old.
Let me ask, because of course I hear top anything and immediately I pull.
Top 10 shooting guards. Oh, I'm ready, Drew.
12 shooting guards.
I'm ready, Drew. I've had this shit for months.
He told me this yesterday.
I've had this for months. This the guy's telling me DeJounte the top 15 point guard. I told him, no, he ain't, boss. So I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know. I am prepped. I don't think you are.
Off last season, DeJounte Murray is a 2. So let's go.
He said Cam was better.
Again, he's insane. And fringe down.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Fringe.
I did preface.
Donovan Mitchell, not a chance. Number 2, Devin Booker, not a chance. Anthony Edwards, no way. Jaylen Brown, no way. Desmond Bain, no way.
Derek White.
DeJounte Murray. no.
Sure, you can take DeJounte is better. That's fine.
Are we counting
Kyrie's a 2.
Kyrie is better.
Dante DiVincenzo.
I would take Dante right now.
I think
I would
Thomas
take
is a better
Dante.
player.
Is Anthony Simons a 2?
I have him as a point guard.
Devin Vassell.
Cam Thomas is better.
I would take Devin Vassell. I actually have Vassell 11, Cam Thomas
Wait,
12.
Simons is a 1?
I have him as a point guard. He's a point
I
guard.
think he's a point guard.
He's
tweener.
not too.
Oh, I don't,
That's
yeah,
fine.
okay.
That's fine.
I'm not.
Wait,
mad at that.
what number are we at though? Are we at like
9?
8, 9? My fault.
If you're including Kyrie, we're at about 8.
Okay.
Who's better right now, Cam Thomas or Bradley Beal?
I was just about to ask.
Screaming at that.
I'm taking Cam Thomas.
Cam
Moving
Thomas.
forward, I'm
Taking
taking
I'll
Cam
be
Thomas.
honest. What
Bradley
makes?
Beal's
Why would you
trash.
take Cam Thomas? Exactly.
There's no reason.
But there's
I-
no reason to take Bradley Beal either. It's like
No.
I'm going with the younger
I
guy.
don't care.
you go with the proof. You go with the semi-proven or we
He's
think.
not
I just
proven
look
at
at
all.
Riv.
Jalen Green or
Cam Thomas.
That's
Riv,
Tulsa.
I look at the trajectory right now of Cam Thomas versus the decline of Bradley Beal, and I'm just
We're
way
talking
more
about today,
comfortable. I know, but looking at where it's going, like 2024, 2025 this year, Cam Thomas will have a better year, and he's gonna be a better, more
I think he'll
important
have a
player.
better year, but
team.
he'll probably have the ball more.
Taking him.
He's gonna be a better player altogether. Forget better season.
He's not better than Malik Monk.
I have him one spot above Monk.
Yeah, I think he's better than Malik Monk, bro.
You can make a case for Monk. I don't mind it.
That's interesting.
Alex Caruso.
I have Caruso as a lot
That's
lower.
a 2.
Yeah, no, you're right. I have him at 21. A little
Taking
bit
Cam,
lower.
bro.
21.
I'm
Yeah,
taking
I have
Cam,
to move
bro.
him up a couple
I'm
spots.
taking Cam,
No,
bro.
I don't
have
even
him-
know 21
I have him
guards.
below quickly and
Taking
Norman
Cam,
Powell.
bro.
So I have to move
Respectfully.
Caruso
You're not
up.
taking Cam.
Over Caruso?
Yeah, you're not
On a
taking
bad team, yes, I am.
I mean, on a bad
Caruso
team,
gets
Yes, I am,
cares?
bro.
It's like,
Yes, I am, bro.
okay.
Like.
I could care less about what you do.
No,
on a
but
bad
I'm
team.
just saying, like, this is what Cam Thomas. This is his reality
I
right now. It's a
lowballed
bad team. I'm not
Caruso.
taking Caruso on a bad team over Cam.
On a good team, you take Caruso.
Drew, you have to mention CJ
Yeah, he's a better
McCollum.
role player. He's a role player.
Why?
Some
That's
players
not
are
bad.
better role players, but they could be better. So I think, like pound for pound, Cam Thomas is probably a better player than Caruso.
Like
He's a better
Casey,
scorer.
K-
He's a better
Casey,
scorer.
Better
Casey,
player.
right.
Caruso's way more valuable. to a playoff team.
No.
KCP.
Cam Thomas, pound for pound, is a better scorer. That's it.
That's it.
There's like nothing else he's better at.
Yeah.
Like that's actually that's it.
Yeah, you're right.
Trey
And he's a better ISO
I have Trey
scorer.
as a 3.
Because off ball, Caruso's probably a better scorer.
Yeah.
probably better cutter. You know, he could do
Yeah.
those things.
Well,
No,
he
you're
know,
right.
catch and shoot was there.
shooting like 40-some% from
Catch and
three
shoot was there.
this
Like as an ISO scorer, Cam is up there. But like that's literally it. Yeah, I don't say
but
anything else.
I think it's hard to like. We can't overvalue role players either because like if you're
sure, for
if
sure,
you're
for sure.
asking who would you rather
You're
throw.
just saying that he can't be a 1.
Now John said that. He didn't say that.
I mean, no shit. I don't think many people are saying
Because this
Cam
is the,
Thomas.
this is the
No one
analogy I'm gonna
knows
make right here. For OKC.
Yes.
Caruso is better for them than a guy like
course.
Bradley Beal. But Bradley Beal's a better player than Caruso. Like objectively, he's a better
Today?
player than Caruso. I think today Bradley Beal's better.
Okay.
But I think Caruso fits better with OKC. So, like, same thing with the James Harden conversation that we had that Drew
OG.
brought up with OG. Like, OG for the Knicks, I would take OG rather than Harden. But
Yeah.
I think Harden, he's
Pound for pound,
probably
Harden's
a
a
better,
better
player.
player.
Like, if you're looking at a team like Philadelphia,
Yeah.
who if they want to have some offense initiated, or let's say Harden goes to San Antonio and San Antonio's looking at a guy, you're rather going with Harden than OG just because you need an initiator.
Right.
So I feel like even though a player's better in a role, it doesn't mean they're a better player.
Well said.
And we can't overvalue it. So that's why I think like the 20 area for Caruso's fair.
I actually moved him up to 18.
We
'Cause
can't.
I had
We can't
guys-
overvalue 22 points a game in Brooklyn though.
Also, like Rudy Gobert.
We
is
cannot do that.
elite
No.
on defense, and he's only in
Yo,
these
20
top 25.
what about
top
25,
30
5, and
conversations for his
4 and
defense.
4?
Caruso is one
that's
of
what he
the
was as a
best
starter.
perimeter defenders in the league. He also provides some kind of offense.
Yeah.
He's a very good shooter. He can pass the basketball and can actually dribble.
Fair
Again,
enough.
A lot of players that play great defense have gotten propped up. It's Caruso's time to get propped up now.
Something I just looked up. It's pretty dope. Sounds cool. On 2-point field goals, catch and shoot, Cam Thomas was 64%. On 3-pointers, catch and shoot, he was 44. Pull-ups, 2-point field goal, he was 44. And then his 3-pointer dropped all the way to 30. So
There's a lot of room for improvement with him.
maybe off ball might be the
not a
way.
finished product to
Catch
me.
and shoot, that doesn't
Catch
sound
and shoot, he's a
terrible.
So
stroker.
based
He
on
can
those
catch-
numbers,
That part of his game.
based on those numbers in a vacuum, or who do you think's better? Honestly, you think Cam Thomas is better, or someone like Austin Reeves?
Cam Thomas is better than Austin Reeves.
Cam
We were
Thomas.
doing this yesterday. We are having this convo.
Cam
Last
Thomas.
year, I would have took
taking
Austin
Cam
Reeves. This year, moving forward, I'm taking Cam.
Austin got better this year, John. He got better. He
I don't
was
know.
better.
As a matter of fact,
Cam Thomas gonna get better next year.
Cam
too.
Thomas
I'm
field
just
goal
not sleeping on
percentage
that.
gets drastically worse the more dribbles he take. So 0 dribbles, he's efficient. 1 dribble, drops. 2 dribbles, drops. 3 dribbles, Yikes. 3 to 6 dribbles.
What's your answer to the question?
Austin Reeves or Cam, who's a better player, better basketball player. Shit. Austin Reeves is kind of good. I think Austin's a better player.
Okay.
Like if you're the Lakers,
passing's the gap.
if you're the Lakers, then they're saying, okay, clean swap, Austin Reeves, you're getting Cam Thomas, Austin Reeves
I
goes
think
to the
Austin
Nets.
can bring you more.
Okay.
As a passer, it's a clear gap.
No, definitely. He's a better passer than him.
Reeves is a really good
Defensively,
passer.
too, I'd give it to.
Yes.
Even though your boy be getting killed, though. I'm not going to lie. Austin Reeves
He
be
has to
getting
defend the
fried.
best
Cam
guy
Thomas
in
be
the
frying him, too. Check those stats. He be killing him. Definitely
What are
frying
those
that boy.
stats? What does Cam
Bro,
Thomas average against the Lakers?
I was just watching. I think the last 3 games he played against the Lakers, he's averaged like 33 points per game.
Also,
35, 33, and then another like
closest
25
defender
per game.
when he gets worse. No, he gets better when he gets more open. So very tight, he's not good. Tight, he's not that good. Open, he's great. And then wide open, he's pretty great. So it sounds like this ISO score is really inefficient. I'm just reading numbers, dog.
Okay. So, Drew, for your shooting guard rankings, right now we're at 8 players if you include Malik Monk. 9 if you also. I'm not done. I'm speaking. 9 if you also include Caruso, and 10 if you were to also include
I
Reeves.
feel like we're missing so many two guards.
I named so many.
You didn't name Levine, you didn't name McCollum, you didn't name Jalen Suggs, and you did not name Andrew Nemhard. Basically, those are the guys.
So those are the only people you're taking over Cam Thomas?
No, I'm taking Cam Thomas over Zach
Are you
Levine.
taking Dante or you're taking...
Wait, Zach Levine.
Actually-
wait, Cam's not a better player than Zach Levine.
No,
Nah, he's not. He's
You
not.
lost me.
I have
John,
Levine
stop.
at 10.
He's not.
But moving forward,
Wow.
moving forward, I'm tempted.
So look at
You
this.
can
Look at
take him,
this.
but Cam's not a better player than Zach.
Cam Thomas
not.
against the Lakers this past year in 2 games, he averaged 31.5 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. First game, he had 33 points. Second game, he had 30
What was
points.
the scores?
We won one of those games. We stole one. No, the other games the Lakers kicked the shit out of us though. Really.
He had
bad.
a plus 12 in one of those and a -7 in the other one.
It breaks even. We're valid. Yeah, John. So that's 10. I know you would take Cam, but he's not better than Zach. It's okay.
You're right.
Zach
he's
is
not.
better.
I'm
Zach is
a
better.
big Zach
Cam Thomas is
guy.
not better than
I
Malik
just
Monk.
kind of was turned off by
No, I
him
get
last
it. I get
year,
it.
You know?
He is
Cam
a better.
Thomas is better
He
than
was
him.
injured a lot last year. I get it. Trust me.
I feel like with Malik Monk, it took a while for him to come into his own in the league.
It started with the Lakers.
5 years.
Right now, though. He just said he's top 12 right now.
No, I know, but right now, Malik Monk is like 21-6 per 36. 21-7 per 36. He's averaging like 15, 5 and 5. I think Cam Thomas and him is
Cam
pretty
as a starter
comparable.
is 25, 4 and 4 in 60 games.
Yeah, you gotta remember-
when he's actually a starter.
Yeah, Malik Monk's going to year 8.
Cam was on a heater before he got hurt. I know it's like a small sample, but like in 20 games, averaging like 29 points.
Did you take Bradley Beal over him or what, John?
No, I took Cam Thomas or Bradley Beal.
So how many shooting guards is that now, Drew, that you have that are better than Cam Thomas?
Yeah, that you
Basically,
have, Drew.
that's- Oh, Drew is gonna have 1 or 2 more.
Drew probably has 30.
5, 6,
I'll tell you what, Levine
Terry
over.
Rozier or Cam Thomas?
Cam
I'm
Thomas.
so
Thomas.
off Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
Give me Cam.
Oh, you forgot Tyler Hero, brother.
Is Emmanuel Quick?
I have him as a
Brother,
point
you forgot
guard.
Tyler Hero.
Point guard.
He was, yeah, he is a shooting guard. You're right.
Tyler
you forgot-
Hero.
Tyler Hero, I don't like him.
I also don't like him, so I don't mind
Hero,
taking Cam.
I would take Hero over
Tyler Hero's
Cam.
probably
I
I say
so don't mind
Tyler
taking
Hero
Cam.
is slightly better. I
Yeah.
would say Tyler Hero's
There's a
better.
passing gap.
Dante DiVincenzo,
I'm not taking Dante DiVincenzo over Cam Thomas, bro.
Devin Vassell,
Dante's a
That-
tricky guy.
Austin Reeves,
Definitely
Zach
not Devin.
Levine, Jalen Green, Alex Caruso.
Jalen Green's not better in my opinion, but
The same
close.
fucking player, John.
they are. They are.
Dante is
You're right.
crazy.
You didn't include Jalen Suggs, by the way.
Andrew Nemhard.
'Cause he was a 1 last year.
16.
He's a point guard, dude.
Suggs?
You're not giving me Trey. You're not giving
He
me
logged.
Trey Murphy.
I could double check, but he logged his.
Trey
most
Murphy better than
Really?
Cam Thomas.
I
Double
don't-
check.
I think
Make
Cam
sure.
Thomas is better than Trey Murphy.
What?
Ooh,
Trey ain't even a 2.
That's what
He's a
I'm saying.
3.
You're giving me Trey's a 2.
Trey's a wing.
Trey's a 3.
The
fuck are we doing?
Herb Jones, what is it?
Herb Jones at 3. That's why I
a 3,
have Trey.
brother.
at
So they play 2 wings. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Riv. Suggs logged the most at 79% at shooting guard by Basketball Reference.
So how many
He is a
players
point guard.
numbers wise do you have
starting?
better than Cam Thomas? Drew?
Gary
Shooting guards?
Markel.
Right now, I'm telling right now, I'm 15.
So hold up. Right now, Drew's saying how many players he has over Cam Thomas
He
at
said
the shooting
15.
guard position. 15.
15.
So basically, you
15.
have 40 guards because you're probably going to have about 25 to 20
And I
point
haven't
guards.
mentioned Kyrie, so 16.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about shooting guards mostly.
No, I just wanted to throw
Kyrie,
out
I
that
didn't
number. That's a
include,
lot.
So,
No, Kyrie's definitely better than.
the difference is
No,
that.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas or Dylan Harper?
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, just ask. I know you where you would go. You might go Dylan Harper. You might.
Cam Thomas
gotta
is
do
nice,
bad.
bro. You're sleeping on him. But I think the good thing for the Nets, though, is that you guys have a direction now. Like, you own your picks in 2025, 2026.
They just got to find talent to build
So
around.
this year, you guys could tank. And this was a perfect scenario. And we got like a whirlwind
isn't
of
done.
news this year.
Marks isn't
This day. Mikal Bridges goes to the Knicks. The Nets get their picks back. And then the Houston Rockets, they're trying to take a swing for Kevin Durant. Do you think it makes sense for Houston to take a swing on KD? Because
Not at all.
I don't think Houston is close to competing
not
for a
ready.
championship.
No, they're not at all.
And giving up away a ton of picks that could be very valuable for Kevin Durant, it makes no sense to me right now.
Yeah, they're not ready. They don't have enough offense around Kevin
He's on
Durant,
a decline,
and he doesn't
bro.
have another guy yet. Amon is still far away. Cam Whitmore is still far away. Sengun is here, but he's still far away in his development.
Jabari.
Jalen Green, Jabari, Tari Eason, like these guys this is their first real year with a head coach.
Yeah.
So to even just try, and I get it, they want to be aggressive. I respect the aggressiveness, but this team is a year, probably 2 or 3 that they're like away from really
What if it was-
competing for a
What if it was for
championship.
Devin Booker instead if they had their eyes on
I
someone
still-
like
I
Because
still
Booker
be-
at least fits their
D-Book
timeline,
makes more
right?
sense.
He's
Yeah, but it should
27.
be D-Book.
How long is Debo gonna wait? You know, then you got to figure out who fits around him. I would just wait until your
Yo,
team is close.
Devin Booker on Houston would be tough.
I would
fire.
definitely
cool.
would be tough.
It would be keep the
Playing off
the
Sengun.
tradition
Jalen
of
Green.
great
For
two
Jalen
guards.
Green.
James Harden and Devin Booker.
Who would
No,
you give
he
up?
would look great in a Houston uniform.
Who would you give up?
Jalen Green.
He's on a 1 year. They would ask for more.
A men's gone.
Fuck.
I know.
Yeah,
I think
you're
Jabari
right.
Smith is in the deal probably.
Yeah.
So you send Amen, Jabari, Jalen Green. Probably have to. You have to send more than just pick 3.
I'm saying also pick 3.
Oh, like we're doing the trade tomorrow. Okay.
So what if the Rockets trade is centered around Alperen Şengün
No.
and they draft Klingon with the 3rd pick?
Wait, they don't. Oh,
I'm
so
not
they
trading
try to keep the
Şengün.
3rd pick.
Yes.
You can't move him. He's their best player. He is their future.
This is why
Even
they
if
shouldn't
we're-
make.
You can move him.
Even if it's for D-Book,
But then who is D
Because
Book?
now
This is why you can't.
you don't have anything
shouldn't
around
try to
Booker.
go move for
So,
it. There's
It's
nothing-
tricky.
right.
You want to
You're right.
find the right time to make that trade. Kevin Durant's turning 36, right? So it's just not a guy that fits their timeline at all. But I think Ime Udoka might have a role in it because of the relationship he built with Kevin Durant back in their year together in 2021 with the Nets. Yeah, if Houston were to go and get a star, I think you have to keep Şengün. Otherwise, that star is going to be isolated without the support to actually make the playoffs.
Let's see if that actually works.
No, you're right. And I feel as if Houston, they don't got to get too impatient right now. With Phoenix, I feel like teams around the league know it's inevitable that they got to blow it up. And
Yeah.
they got to start trading guys. Like Kevin Durant is probably like the first guy up. And in my belief, I feel like you'd rather trade a guy a year early than a year late. And KD just came off an All-NBA season. The package that Mikal went for, if KD gets that right now, you're happy and satisfied with that. If you're Phoenix, Phoenix though, you're hoping that Houston makes a move for KD and you get a future back, and then you just try to build around Devin Booker one more time before he reaches really the final years of his career.
Apparently, what I read was that the Phoenix Suns are not willing to trade Kevin Durant. They want to run it back one more time.
That makes
Hey,
sense.
the Nets said they
That
weren't
makes
going to
sense.
trade Mikal Bridges. A lot of it can be total smoke to try to raise that
Yeah.
player's value
Yeah,
because
'cause
now
they just got swept.
Now you're acting from a different position. The Suns are trying to make
They
like,
can't
we
get
want to
much
run this
better.
back. That way they gain some leverage
They
because
can't get much better.
after getting swept, you're usually not going to have leverage unless you create yourself.
Yeah, they don't got money.
I wouldn't be shocked.
So
Bradley
happy
Beal's
to do.
contract, you can't
I think,
move it.
I
So-
think the Suns
Well,
would
exactly,
definitely
you're not gonna
honor
get
it.
Since
better.
the Suns are a second apron team, regardless,
Right.
they would have to take 100% of the money back. So Amon, Jalen Green, Jabari wouldn't even work. So you have to say like Fred
Dylan Brooks.
or Dylan Brooks and add one else. So damn.
Steven Adams maybe.
What if you get Fred VanVleet, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, and picks back
You said Devin
for
Booker.
KD?
Devin Booker?
Devin Booker.
No. Kevin Durant goes, and now
you said Devin Booker.
I
Yeah,
know,
you did.
but I was talking about like the starting lineup
Oh,
they
you
would
fucked
have.
me.
Yes, so like the starting lineup for the Suns would be Fred VanVleet, Booker, Dylan Brooks, and then the front court. I mean, it's a mess right now. But you trade Kevin Durant, you get those two players with picks.
How many picks? That's really was.
Because if I'm the Rockets, I scream yes.
No, the Rockets say yes in a heartbeat.
Suns are getting fleeced. For Fred, Dylan Brooks, and what, 2 firsts?
So
Maybe like
nothing,
3
something,
firsts,
and
3 firsts.
3 firsts.
Just your picks
Are they
back,
getting
honestly.
pick 3 also?
I don't know. I mean, do you think that Kevin Durant is worth all the picks back right now?
Yes.
It's KD still.
KD.
But he's old. He's like what, 37?
He's 36.
KD can still go
36.
get you 3.
KD just gave you one of the
most efficient seasons in NBA history at age 36.
I really do hope that he doesn't go to Houston, though, because I want Kevin Durant to have one final shot to win a championship.
Oh, you mean to Camel Rod?
Yeah, go to OKC, Camel Rod. Absolutely.
You know, do what he been
Absolutely.
doing. Yeah.
What if he is
Absolutely. Go back, go to OKC or the Knicks.
Yep. Wait till the team gets to the finals, then play amazing, and just say, you know, okay, I see what's going on.
Hey, listen, Kevin Durant's one of the best finals performers in NBA history.
The Lakers.
Yeah, Drew said the Lakers. What do you think about the Lakers? I mean, LeBron,
All
KD.
the old guys get a ring and then just say, I'm done.
No, but yeah, a lot of things happen today in the NBA. And I feel like there are going to be more moves that come out soon. We were talking about shooting guards. After this NBA season, who do you guys think is the best shooting guard in the NBA?
The best shooting guard in the NBA right now is Anthony Edwards. Moving forward,
You fell off, man.
The fact he didn't say Devin Booker, bro, he's not a fan to anything or anyone.
the reason
Not a
why
fan to anything or anyone.
I say that.
You don't want to hear it.
Devin Booker is like a 1B to me, but when looking at Anthony Edwards' ascension this last year and his consistency leading up to that Maverick series in the postseason, you're looking at a guy who continues to rise his game and brings that scoring gravitas like D Book brings in the playoffs. But defensively, he's on a higher level. And I think as a passer, we're continuing to see, I know, big word here for the kid that can't pass an algebra class. We're continuing to see.
Nothing to do with English.
I know.
Yeah, he botched that shit. He botched
Yo,
that.
cut me a break. It's been 3 hours of recording.
You didn't even have to say that. You chose to say that phrase. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna let it rock. You know.
Yeah, I
of
don't know
course he
why.
gotta be the
Honestly,
one.
like now I think about it, I really shouldn't have said that. But
Happens.
Anthony Edwards continues to cut that margin as a passer, slower and smaller to the point where I think defensively he brings more than Book. And I can't overlook the fact, too, Booker couldn't get a game from him. Like that, too, if there's any sort of tiebreaker here, it's the fact that D-Book's asses got swept by Ant-Man. So I have to give him that acknowledgement because, like, that's an embarrassing thing. And I think if you're the best shooting guard in the league and you're playing alongside an All-NBA player in Kevin Durant, you just can't get swept like that.
All right, awesome. The best shooting guard in the NBA is Jaylen Brown. And here's why. Everyone likes to talk shit about
My goodness.
being a championship level player on your team. Are you going to be able to lead as the best to win a championship? Jaylen Brown actually did it. Donovan didn't do it. Devin Booker didn't do it. He tried, lost to Milwaukee. Anthony Edwards thought it was his time. He beat Denver. Big ups. You lose in 5 games to the Dallas Mavericks. Jaylen Brown actually handled business, and everything that they said that Donovan, Anthony Edwards, and Devin Booker could do, Jaylen Brown actually just did and was Finals MVP. So that's the best 2 guard in the NBA. Go ahead and talk all the shit you want to relevant.
Could you imagine if Anthony Edwards, Mitchell, or Devin Booker won an NBA championship and they didn't lead the team in points, rebounds, or assists the entire way there? And in the finals,
They
they
would
didn't
never win.
In the finals, they didn't lead the team in points and
Would never win
rebounds
like
and
that.
assists either. I mean,
Jaylen Brown is one of the best defensive players in the league, especially given
he
his
might not be
two-way
like top 15.
Jaylen Brown.
You're off a script, bro.
Jaylen Brown is exceptional. He's an exceptional 2-way player. Here's the case against Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum is the best player on the Celtics. He led them in points, rebounds, and assists.
Jason Tatum's a
And also, I feel like what we cannot overlook is while Jaylen Brown's defense on Luka was amazing, the biggest part of that series was Jason Tatum guarding the centers and taking away lobs away from Dallas's offense. When you look at the numbers, Jaylen Brown held Luka to 9 for 22 from the field. You want to know who was statistically a better defender than Jaylen Brown? Al Horford. He held Luka to 9 for 28 on the field. He guarded more shots from Luka in a smaller period of time because Luka was hunting him, and Al Horford holding his own in those matchups is what suffocated Dallas's offense so much. So while I do respect Jaylen Brown, I mean, Donovan Mitchell gave him the business in the second round. Pascal Siakam in the conference finals gave him the business. And this is not a knock to Jaylen Brown, but if he were to have the offensive responsibility of Ant-Man, Mitchell, and Devin Booker, he wouldn't be an elite defender. Last year, he had an offensive responsibility that maybe rivaled those guys, and he averaged 27, and he wasn't a good defender last year. I'm talking about not this past year, the year they won the finals. You guys know what I'm talking about. And there are stats to back that up. It was never about what Jaylen Brown could be, but when you ask him to do more on offense, the defense has shown to fall off.
Who's the best scorer in the finals?
Jaylen Brown.
The Boston Celtics.
Jaylen
I
Brown.
mean, the team with a 20 point per game score.
Who was
Doesn't really
the
matter.
20 point per game because of Game 4 and Game 5?
Yeah.
Who played better against Dallas's defense, Anthony Edwards or Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
Anthony Edwards averaged 27 in the series.
Off the last few games.
Yeah, he wasn't that good against. them,
They were both 5-game series.
Game 4 and Game 5, Jaylen Brown was bad, but games 1, 2, and 3, he was near perfect.
I'm looking it up right now. Don't worry, bro. I'm on it.
No, I know he would. No, Anthony Edwards was awesome in games 3.
No, I'm
4,
talking about
and 5.
Jaylen Brown. You said games what?
Games 1, 2, and 3, Jaylen Brown was near perfect.
Okay, he averaged 24, 6 and 6.
Anthony Edwards in Game 3, 26, 9 and 9. Game 4, 29, 10 and 9. And Game 5, 28, 9 and 6.
Yeah, that last game, relevant. They got smoked.
I love you, Drew. I think the issue that I'm having here is that to piggyback off your point before, Jaylen Brown could not handle the responsibilities that the guys in the top 3 simply have, especially Donovan Mitchell. I mean, what he did in the postseason, you're not going to see Jaylen Brown doing that. And
Game
I mean,
3.
you take Jaylen Brown
It happened Game 3.
for one game.
Jason Tatum.
You love that one isolated game.
One isolated game was the NBA
Right.
Finals.
Right. I understand, but there's a larger sample size here of an entire run. And I mean, you take the 3 best years of Jalen Brunson as a scorer. Take his best years of scoring.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
In the regular season, that's still not even going to compare to Anthony Edwards' playoff resume in his 3 years making the playoffs. So I think Brown deserves that credit to be in the top 4. He is he's the best number 2 in the game. But you really can't put him in the top 3 to me.
You just said it. He's the best number 2 in the game.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
You know, I think Jaylen Brown, he deserves an insane amount of credit. He does. And I respect you for saying he's the best shooting guard in the league.
Credit to you, man.
It's just a lot of projecting with him being the number 1 guy. And that's no knock. He's in a row he's in. But I think Devin Booker, Mitchell, and Anthony Edwards could be the second guy to take him and win a championship too. And that's not a knock on Jaylen Brown. It's just these guys are really good too. Devin Booker led a team to the finals and was the best player in the finals for his team. And he had a 40-point game in the finals. He was really good. Yeah.
240 balls.
240 balls. Donovan Mitchell, in the playoffs, he just averaged 35 and 5 on excellent efficiency. He was amazing. And Anthony Edwards, he had 3 40-point games in his playoffs, 2 30-point games, and averaged 28, 7, and 7 on 60% true shooting. He was unbelievable. And that's why I think Ant-Man's the best shooting guard in the league, because I feel like when you look at the regular season and the postseason and you combine it, who had the best season, I thought it was Anthony Edwards, start to finish.
No, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people go off finals and the performances, and I get that. But I think all 3 of you guys hit the nail on the head. Essentially, he's the second option to Jason Tatum. And there's people that were arguing that Jason Tatum should have won MVP. He did lead in points, rebounds, and assists. I thought it was a toss-up. I was cool with Jaylen Brown winning it. I would have been cool with Jason Tatum winning it. But, I feel like comparing a second option to people that won, Devin Booker's led a team to a championship, to a finals, yeah. Anthony Edwards led Minnesota to the Western Conference Finals in a loaded West. These guys, and Donovan Mitchell's these guys are the main options of their team. And like Joel said, I mean, the season last year, I believe, when Jaylen Brown averaged, 27 points per game when he had more of an offensive load, the defense was terrible that entire season. It wasn't good. I think this is for lack of a better word, this is just a plug-in, but I feel the same way. I think if we put Anthony Edwards on Boston, I think he have even better numbers than what Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP with. Same thing with Devin Booker. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. I think if those guys were on Boston and Jason Tatum had the series that he did, there wouldn't be a question on them winning the Finals MVP, because I feel like they would have been completely dominant. I think Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in the NBA. I think he's a better defender than Jaylen Brown. I think is he a better scorer? I mean, Jaylen Brown's a really good scorer. I think they're neck and neck as a scorer. I just like his trajectory. I like the fact that he can lead a team to the playoffs as a 1. Jaylen Brown, we have yet to see that. We can say he was the Finals MVP, but like I said, you can retort that with maybe Jason Tatum deserved this. So I'm taking those. I would take Anthony Edwards over him. The other 2, I mean, they're debatable, but I don't feel comfortable comparing a guy who's honestly a number 2 to number 1 and talents that are carrying their teams. So I'm taking him in.
I thought somebody here would go Devin Booker. Unfortunately, he didn't get no love here.
He fell off, man.
I thought somebody was
John
gonna.
fell off.
I didn't fall off.
I thought somebody was gonna grab
I
Devin
wasn't the
Booker.
one that got swept in the first round, though.
Not shocked at Joel for saying Anthony Edwards. Of course, not shocked. Definitely a little shocked that Drew went the Jaylen Brown route today, but he's been a fan, so I understand it. I respect it. The best shooting guard in the league is Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what's going on in this world, but it was hard to say this last year because of the Knicks series. He did not play well. He owned up to it, but I think last year he had the best regular season out the big three. Before I even go on this monologue, let me start by saying Jaylen Brown is not better than none of these three guys. Like, shout out to him. He won Finals MVP. So did Andre Iguodala. But for sure, Jaylen Brown is not he's the fourth best shooting guard in the league. There's nothing wrong with that. He has room to improve and get better. And he can get better. He can 100% get better. But in terms of all these four guys, he's probably the worst scorer. He's undoubtedly the worst playmaker out the bunch. Probably the best defender for sure. But even then, this was the first year he's put it all together on defense. That is a fact. That is a fact. That's not fiction. This is the first time he's put the on-ball and the off-ball defense together for a full season. He was amazing at it, for sure. But like you mentioned, he took a little bit less responsibility on offense because they brought in Drew Holiday. No shame in that. They brought in Porzingis. So he was able to get back to that defensive effort and become a true I'm going to go get a bucket, and then I'm going to go lock your best player up. True definition of a two-way player. Shout out to you for that. You were still the fourth best shooting guard in the league. Now, to get on to the big two, because I think Devin Booker is comfortably third, especially after the way he played against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think, first of all, these three guys can shuffle year to year.
Yeah.
They're so good, and Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell are still really young. They're hitting their primes. Ant-Man is probably going to be so much better than both of them in his prime, but as of right now, they can shuffle year by year. I do think right now, for me, it's a Donovan Mitchell versus Ant-Man thing because I think both of them had amazing playoff runs, and I think, unfortunately, like you mentioned, Ant-Man did outplay Devin Booker. Granted, Devin Booker played a better defense, but Devin Booker he didn't look like Devin Booker at all. Like, he looked lost completely. Game 4 sounds cool. They got
that was just the last game of the
49,
series.
right?
Yeah, that was just a fight for your life. I like that he went out with a bang. Yeah.
He did.
But, I think
man.
out of Anthony
shots.
Edwards versus Donovan Mitchell, I prefer Donovan Mitchell's offensive game a little bit more. I think he's a better playmaker. I do think he's a better shooter. I think he can get to the cup just as good. I like Donovan Mitchell's in-between game more. The defense, I understand it with Ant-Man. He can defend really well, but I don't think Donovan Mitchell is a slouch on defense. I think he's solid defensively, and what he brings offensively to that Cleveland Cavaliers team is really different. And back-to-back regular seasons, he's improved dramatically. He's been amazing in both. I think the playoffs is why Ant-Man versus Donovan Mitchell is the discussion, because I think in the regular season Donovan Mitchell has been better both years, but the playoffs is where Ant-Man has risen a dramatic amount. And like I said before, the Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks series really put him down a little bit. So I understand having
came back
Ant-Man.
this year, though.
Yeah, he came back on a mission against two elite defenses. So I understand having Ant at one, but for me, I got to give the respect and the love to Donovan Mitchell. I do think he's the best two guard in the league.
I think no matter how you have this list, the four best shooting guards are Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown. You can put in whatever order you want, but
No, you cannot. Jaylen Brown cannot be one.
Jaylen Brown's number one, right?
but they are the best four. After that, I had Kyrie Irving at 5. I think he's the next best shooting guard.
You know what's crazy? We did a Would You Rather before some series, and Kyrie was above Jaylen Brown. Now, after the playoffs, Kyrie has dropped under Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP, and Kyrie Irving just didn't show up. These are players that I don't classify as shooting guards. I classify them as point guards. James Harden, DeJounte Murray, Emmanuel Quickley, and Anthony Simons. So just want to let that be known.
Tyrese Maxey.
Numbers, Tyrese Maxey is an excellent name. He's a point guard too to me. He's a point guard. Number 6, I had Desmond Bane.
Great pick.
That's my 6 best shooting guard. Number 7, 8, 9, 10 is Bradley Beal, CJ McCollum, Devin Vassell, and Zach LaVine.
Good heavens.
Zach LaVine is better than Bradley Beal.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's better than Devin Vassell, too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to lie. He might be better than everybody you just said in front of him.
Beal is
Except Desmond
one
Bane.
of, if not the most disappointing player this last season.
I can't argue with Zach LaVine. It's just he wasn't healthy this past year.
Yeah.
And the season he was having before he got hurt wasn't that great.
I think you're buying
He was hurt.
you're buying the Levine stock at its lowest point right now. Like 2 years ago, in 2022, people are saying if he has a good playoff run, he could be making a case for the best shooting guard in the league.
Hear me
And
out. Desmond Bane, maybe better than both.
Both who?
You said Zach
Oh, he's way better than
No, I
both.
know we have Bane
That's
above
a Bane.
both.
Yeah,
Definitely
he
better
clears
than
Bane is
Bradley
better.
Beal.
Yeah,
He's definitely
he
better
clears
than Bradley
that
Beal.
line better.
No, we have Bane
Definitely
above
better than
both.
Bradley Beal.
But
Bane is
here.
leveled up.
I
Bane
think
is
it's
good.
tough.
it can only go up from here for Levine. It can't go further down.
Bane is nice.
Desmond Bane.
We've always been.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
Good.
No, but yeah, so how would you have it? So number 7, who would you have? You had Zach LaVine over McCollum, Beal, and Vassell?
You don't classify McCollum as a 1?
Yeah, he was running the 1.
Yeah,
for
it was
New
weird
Orleans
to
this
me.
No, he's a weird one.
I
He's
have
just
McCollum
he's just
as a
always
2.
been a 2 for me,
He's a
like my
tweener.
entire
He's a
life.
tweener. Yep.
I would put Zach at 7. I think you can put. Beal is such a tough one. Oh my
Would you
God.
put Levine over Dante DiVincenzo? Because I would not.
Yes, Levine is a better basketball player than Dante DiVincenzo. You're being funny.
John, what are you doing?
I know. I get it. This year was terrible. He was injured before he got injured.
DiVincenzo had a remarkable season.
He averaged
8
15
threes.
though.
Okay, 8 threes, 40%, 9 threes actually. Played 81
15.
games, 47% mid range.
Zach took
Better
7
defender?
threes last year and was at 38%. And they're probably more difficult. No, there isn't a probably. They're more difficult.
If Zach
Definitely.
LaVine averaged 15, we'd be saying he's washed.
Yes.
That's a
He's
career-
averaging
that's a
19
career-
and we're talking about he's washed.
That's a career season for Dante.
Yeah,
He's a role player. Most of his shots are off catch and shoot from Jalen Brooks.
He's a sniper, though.
He's an amazing sniper.
Bradley Beal or CJ McCollum.
Bradley Beal is just falling off such a bad.
Beal quietly didn't have a bad year.
He had a good season.
Yeah, he shot 43% from
Did
3.
he even play in the playoffs? That's how bad I don't remember.
He was getting cooked.
He just played like shit.
Exactly. He was so
they
bad.
ripped his heart out.
It was one of the most disappointing things this year.
I would go Bradley Beal. I don't feel good about it.
And Vassell is 10.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. I don't mind. I'm not mad if it's sell at 9 either.
DeJounte Murray.
He doesn't classify as a 2 guard.
Yeah, I had him as a point guard.
I thought Maxey, but
He played a majority too.
point guard more so.
I know.
Point guard.
He was at his
Point
best
guard,
when
point
Trey was out.
That's facts. That's facts.
Because I feel like the next team that DeJounte gets traded to is going to be a point guard. I don't think they're going to run him at the
Antonio.
2.
He goes back to San Antonio. It's up.
Yeah, that's a good
His
explanation.
contract isn't terrible.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast, episode 387. Kind of try something different here with the five people podcast, one person sitting in the producer's chair. Maybe we got to do it often. And John, you could just be the person that sits there, honestly, because people love having you on the show, man.
Appreciate that. It'd be fire. I mean, Drew today had me fucking crying over there, but it was a great addition to the show. I'm glad we were able to do it.
And shout out to JC for coming on a short notice and being on the show talking about the Nets. Thank you guys for watching. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.